tradition and history, and we're just fortunate to be in this position to host this game and want to put our best foot forward tonight.
Then Coach Bryant, we've seen you play already. What's really impressed me this season is the balance you guys have offensively. You guys can do a lot. Your quarterback's playing great, lots of weapons. What do you expect from that group tonight?
I just expect that group to just go out and do what we've practiced all week. The biggest thing is just going to be execution. I think we, have a great plan. So again, just can't wait to see our guys go out and execute.
And we just talked about the Grayson offense. Coach Williams, what about your offense? I know Jordan Doe, he missed the last game with an injury. What's his status looking like for kickoff?
He's looking pretty good. As long as the warm-ups go pretty good, it'll be a game-time decision, and I think he'll be able to roll. And but if not, it'll be next man up, and that's our motto, and we'll be ready to go tonight, regardless who's throwing the ball.
And Coach Bryant, you made your return to Grayson this year. You know what Grayson football is all about, but what have you seen just the difference between the start of the season to where your team's at right now?
I just seen us mature and grow. I think going into this year, we knew we had to mature and we knew we were going to take some tough lessons. I think our kids have taken those lessons the right way, and we've grown closer. And I think we're grown from all those lessons that we've learned over the year.
Awesome. I really appreciate it, coaches. We'll be right back with kickoff after the break.
Hey, is the power off on this?
I don't know. Just take it off.
Safety violation, unsafe work conditions.
In the construction trades unions, safety is our highest priority, and we train you to recognize and speak out on unsafe working conditions so that everyone arrives and goes home safely. Learn about careers in construction at georgiaconstructioncareers.com.
Are you ready to make a difference in your community? The Gwinnett County Sheriff's Office is now hiring with a sign-on bonus of up to $4,700. Begin your career with us today. Explore GoGCSO.com to discover information on tuition reimbursement, paid training, and annual benefits. Are you ready to rise to the call? Go GCSO.
Okay, guys, go ahead and take it off. Take it off.
America, come along with our adventure seekers and discover summer with Ford. Join friends Maisa and Leslie on an epic adventure with the capability of the Ford Bronco Sport. Head out with the Stevens family and stay connected with built-in Wi-Fi in the Ford Explorer.
Did you know that horses switch standing up?
Road trip with the Sanchez family and available hands-free highway driving in the Ford F-150. Now get 2.9% financing for 60 months plus up to $4,500 cash back on select Ford SUVs. See your local Ford dealer and discover your best summer ever.
The drive for the GHSA state title is presented by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. Transform your future today.
And welcome back, everybody. Grayson and Archer getting ready to do battle here, Region 4 and 7A. Incredible stakes here in this game, as there are in so many games across the state here tonight, with a lot of postseason action on the line here. And before we get ready to do our opening kickoff, let's show you the coin toss here, presented by Georgia's Rome. You see Archer with the traditional red, but also the black uniforms. Grayson, they got their green and gold.
We are not friends, says
that?
14.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've seen that one.
That is quite a statement here about this rivalry game. Of course, recognized tonight by the United States Marines as well as one of the top rivalry games across the country. And while we have a moment, let's also show you the weather here, presented by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 613. 66 degrees, been a beautiful day here in the Atlanta area. Wind blowing at 5 miles an hour. It is a clear sky, and that gives us a chance to see that gorgeous moon.
Wow, what a shot,
the beautiful
man.
shot there of that. It sort of feels like high school football in the late-ish fall when you start to see those big moons kind of shining down on a field like this here in Lawrenceville, Georgia, at Archer Community Stadium. One of the things that Dante Williams told us is you're going to really be impressed with our facilities here, and we have been impressed. It's a wonderful place. The hospitality here has been fantastic.
Another great crowd.
Crowds fouling in on both sides here for this wonderful rivalry game. So we're expecting this to be a terrific football game. As we told you in the opening, Archer represents something of a dramatic turnaround. Just 2 wins a year ago, already 5-3 on this year, 3-0 perfect in the region, and that means, as Rusty told you, a win clinches the region for the Tigers. On the Grayson side, of course, no stranger to winning state championships, and obviously region titles included. They need some help beyond tonight to be able to do that, but obviously a win here will set the stage for that, and we're keeping in mind as well that both of these teams looking to kind of travel 7A and play in that region in the postseason, and that's one of those things you're going to be really, really careful about. Jonathan Stafford is the sophomore back deep to receive here for Archer. That's a name we'll be talking about a lot here this evening. Dynamic player indeed. And it's Heron Kurkovich getting ready to send us off, and we are underway on the Peachtree Sports Network here on a Friday night. Short kick bouncing up into the hands of Stafford, and then Stafford going to be driven out of bounds around the 23-yard line, and that is where Archer will begin its first offensive possession of the night. And that'll give us a chance to also see the starting lineups for Archer on offense. And as Craig Sager was talking to Dante Williams about a moment ago, we'll see if it is indeed Jordan Doe there at the quarterback position. We expect it to be.
Yeah, I saw him warming up on the field, Brandon. He was taking those snaps, and there he is.
He's also got the We're Not
several
Friends
of them do.
towel there.
Interesting.
As we told you, Stafford's a sophomore wide receiver to watch. One of the guys who's really made it go all year long.
They're going Wildcat first series because you see Doe spread completely out.
Yeah, so we'll get a look here at direct snap. That was Emmanuel McRae, the running back, taking that direct snap.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty remains first down.
We'll see our game officials here, presented by the Georgia Sheet Metal and Air Conditioning Contractors Association. Tom Skinner's your referee. Rodney Kinney's the umpire. Gerald Douglas, Alan Skinner, Keith Patterson, Cedric Patterson, Teron Johnson, and Larry High, all a part of this great crew tonight, including a couple of the guys up here in the booth with us here this evening, keeping the eye on the clock and the timing and making sure it all goes smoothly here after the McRae direct snap. And the penalty now to be 1st and 15 for Archer, back on offense again. Traditional look here for Doe. That's a dump off and a completion. And first down yardage and more down the sidelines. There goes the senior running back, Jason Fisher. So big strike for Doe coming back off of injury.
Yep.
And the Archer Tigers are on the move here. And, of course, that'll give us a chance to see the Grayson defense, presented once again by the Georgia Army National Guard. Major college prospects
all
up and
over,
down here.
All over.
Tyler Atkinson at linebacker, that's the name to watch. Nazir Smith, the defensive end, big name to watch there as well. But really, pretty much everybody you're going to see line up for Grayson is a prospect of some sort when it comes to college. And a penalty again here.
A lot of nerves early on.
Flag on the play. False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty remains first down.
So second penalty on the drive here for Archer. But in and around that, they also had the big completion to Fisher. But unfortunately, they've given some of that back on penalties. Doe surveys his sideline. Just a sophomore himself. A lot of young guys, and really from that, kind of sophomore class.
And sloppy start right here. Looks like there might have been some movement from Archer, and they're just kind of.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty remains first down.
Haven't been able to get themselves together. You see Dante Williams there asking who it is. Move the ball. He picked the ball up is what the referee's trying to explain to him. Put the ball on the ground, then he picked it up to move it again.
Third penalty on the drive for Archer.
Both teams want to go extremely fast on offense.
As we told you, in addition to being high-stakes region game, this is also a huge rivalry there as well. So perhaps that's where some of the butterflies kind of come from, as you see Emmanuel McRae getting a carry.
Tyler Atkinson in on the tackle, number 16. He is a pretty much universal top 20 player in the country, the 2026 class. And what I like about him, Brandon, is he got moved. You see him right there. He got moved to Mike linebacker inside. And I think long-term, man, that's where he is. You think Smile, Munden, Barrett, Carter, all these kids that are been great inside linebackers out of the state of Georgia, he's Mike going to be the next one.
Doe handoff again. Grayson's there to meet him in the backfield. Big stop that time by Darren McKenzie. Active in the backfield as the Rams have been for years.
They're going to try to sub. Let's see what. Yeah, just that, man. He just trails his tackle pulled, and he just followed him to the ball. Great job of recognition of seeing that. He just crashed down and followed the blockers and chased the carrier down from the backside.
So looking at 3rd and 19 now after the big stop by McKenzie, the tackle for loss. Snap to Doe, rolling to his right. now going to have to take off and run, and he's got some room here. He's the 45, slides down, avoids the contact, but also well short of the first down there as well. So that's looking at 4th down. And Archer going to make the decision to punt here.
Yeah, still a smart decision. Just don't take an unnecessary. Coming back from injury, you don't have to take an unnecessary shot early in the game.
That'll bring Jackson Gady on to punt. And back deep to receive for Grayson is going to be Aiden Taylor. Gady gets the snap and the punt. Boy, yeah, they came after and almost got to it. Fair catch going to be called for inside the 20. And that'll flip the field here for Archer and put Grayson on offense. And our first chance to see the Rams here coming up. So as we get ready to see Grayson here on offense, we'll also show you some of the sights and sounds from what happened with the Hall of Fame, the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame, second class inducted this past Saturday. And, you know, what a moment that was, Rusty. Something I think you and I both were incredibly proud to be a part of. And really just such a beautiful evening as you see the shot there at the crowd. Great to see.
You tell me it just means more? It just means more right there.
No doubt about that.
Busted play here.
Yeah, that's J.D. Davis, the quarterback, the senior, who's having a great year for Grayson. But just to finish the point we were making, you know, the Blue Jackets having a chance to have that, just an amazing thing to be able to see.
What a night.
Also, our Grayson offensive starters brought to you by the Georgia Army National Guard. Davis, the quarterback, having a great year. Kylan Fox, watch him, the tight end, on his way to UCF. 4-star, representing a big recruiting win right now for Gus Malzahn. That's a pass complete to John Cenas. Cenas gets it up there to the 28-yard line. And now our Archer defensive starters also brought to you by the Georgia Army National Guard. Trent Mapp, Jordan Griffin, really kind of some of the story for the Tigers defensively, what they've done to the defensive line. And that is a big hit on Dylan Elder. Big hit flying in there to make that by Donovan Chambliss.
And Amari Jones, number 2 and 24, both come flying in there.
So quickly, that's 4th down now, and both these defenses standing up and playing very well to begin tonight's game.
Nice job. Look at Amari Jones come in there and finish it off. Like to see your DBs stick their face in there like that. It's grown man football here.
It absolutely is. Low punt, gonna bounce, gonna be fielded at the 35, and nothing going from there. Wrapped up on the play. Good job on special teams. Not much doing for Stafford that time there on the return. Dekai Banks, one of the guys for the Rams, in on that stop. So we'll take a quick timeout. We've seen both these defenses look impressive thus far, and yet two high-powered offenses looking to get started there as well. And a nice look at the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame as we walk you out here there as well.
My mother was an abusive parent. When she got home, she would take all the abuse out on me. I took an overdose, and I almost died. I was sent to a psychiatric hospital, and they didn't think they could help me, so they referred me to the NEA program at Grady. You get that love, you feel that love. I knew I was going to get better because it's very supportive, and it'll become your family.
This is a Peachtree Sports Network weather update, powered by Atlanta News First.
Hope you're having a great Friday. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Valdez with your Peachtree Sports Network weather update. We'll keep it dry through the evening. If you have plans tonight, it will be mild. Can't rule out a stray little sprinkle along the coast, but for the most part, the dry weather we've seen all week will continue. And we're going to see a ton of sunshine as you wake up tomorrow morning, with lots of sunshine through the entire weekend. Not only will we see lots of sunshine, we'll see above average temperatures. For tonight, temperatures a good 10+ degrees warmer than what we typically see this time of year, mainly in the 50s and 60s. And then it will get even warmer as we start off the weekend on Saturday. High temperatures in the 80s across the entire
song. We were like this.
Yeah. Even after all these years, they still pop in that warm-up period.
Described that perfectly.
That is a handoff again, and once again met there in the backfield. Another impressive stop This time it comes from Jalen Williams, the junior defensive back, first man through that time.
Keon Woods there, number 10, and look at them just setting the edge. You see number 9 there, Andre Fuller. He calls that. He set the edge, calls the running back to have to bounce, and when he did, his teammates were there.
Amazing how quick now on 3 offensive possessions, the second for obviously Archer here.
Yeah.
We've gotten to 3rd down and ultimately the 4th down. It's been kind of amazing here. Archer obviously trying to change that. It's a handoff on 3rd down. McCray gets up across the 40, but that's still going to be well short of the 1st down. And now for the 3rd time tonight, we're going to see a 4th down situation here. And Archer won't hesitate to bring the punting team back on.
Grayson runs that 3-3 stack, and you're supposed to be able to run. And that's what Archer's doing. They're trying to run the football at that 3-man front. But right now, Archer is getting off blocks and winning the battle up front early on with those 3 defenders.
And when you want to play at pace, and you don't quite get those early conversions, then all of a gave Newton a 40.2% chance of winning the region. But obviously the upset loss to South Gwinnett last night changes all of that. And you could have probably heard the cheers from Lawrenceville all the way from wherever it is you happen to live.
No doubt.
Because that set up Archer tonight in kind of a win and you're in scenario to be the #1 seed coming out of this region. Doe going to throw, and it's intercepted. Picked off and with room to run. That's Jalen Bell, the LSU commit, setting up Grayson again. He stepped right in front of that pass, and he took it down the sideline.
Man, Grayson with these turnovers. You see the excitement over there, and look at this ball here. Didn't see him, and Bell just jumped the route. Looked like he saw him, in my opinion, but Bell, great job, and you see them got a little dance going on, got the pom-poms over there.
Yeah, they're enjoying themselves right now. And the intended target on that play was the sophomore Jonathan Stafford. That's a guy that Dante Williams, the Archer coach, has called a primetime stud. Probably the best college prospect, I think, currently on this Archer roster. Obviously, a class of 2026.
Yeah, I liked him. I went down the field to watch him in warm-ups.
So they clearly want to get him the ball, and perhaps that's kind of the byproduct of that, trying to make that happen, putting yourself in harm's way. Now Davis for Grayson will keep it. He's going to be wrapped up. Really good open field tackle there by Amari Jones, who's already been on a couple of pretty pivotal stops tonight.
Brad, I look at this region, and I think 2 of those teams are going south. But you think about it, in 2 weeks, teams like Camden County and Valdosta, somebody could be up here in this stadium in 2 weeks. Man, start talking about that Region 4 versus Region 1 matchup, week 1.
Davis sends his running back in motion, now makes it an empty backfield. That's going to stack 2 receivers on the left, 2 spread out traditionally on the right. Davis looks left side, going to complete to Elijah Miller. And he's out of bounds right there at the 20-yard line.
It's a big stand. This is a big defensive play here early on for Archer. Your offense turns it over twice, or you have 2 turnovers in the first quarter, a punt, muff punt, and an interception.
Line to make here is right there at the 14.
Watts Cenas at the bottom. Big body receiver as well.
You got a chance to stand beside him a little earlier. It's really impressive how tall he does stand. Davis will throw once again right there in the direction that Rusty Mansell called for. Rusty's 2 for 2 on the night. John Cenas gets the score.
I may need to buy some lottery tickets on the way home. Got a flag down, might be a celebration post penalty. Man, you saw the man-to-man coverage at the bottom on Cenas. Davis saw that as well. He delivers a strike for a touchdown.
I don't know if Tony Romo still does the thing where he calls the play before it happens, but Rusty giving his best Tony Romo impression here tonight.
Man, he used to be incredible to watch that.
Yeah.
The result of the play is a touchdown.
Yeah, post-celebration.
After the play was over, we have unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the ensuing kickoff.
So the call is unsportsmanlike. I didn't see it in real time, but we've obviously seen a lot of, I guess you call it swagger from Grayson here tonight. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, Cena's kind of right there in his face, gives the point to him. That's going to be enough to get to get that.
And that's a play that you don't have to do that because you just ran by him for a touchdown. Absolutely strike by J.D. Davis as well.
Kufarovic going to try the extra point now. And for the second time tonight, he is true. And now Grayson's up 14-0. And boy, you want to talk about a feeling out period that has gone heavy in the direction of the Rams. This is certainly an example of that. Big lead here right now. And while we have a moment, we'll remind you about our friends at Breda Pest Management, because did you know that in an area the size of a football field, there's over 1 million termites? So the question to ask is, what's stopping these termites from finding your home? Well, that's where you let Breda Pest Management step in and protect your home from termites and prevent these silent destroyers from costing you thousands of dollars in damage. You can find out more online at BredaPest.com. That's B-R-E-D-A, BredaPest.com. You see Cenas, of course, 3-star receiver, 14 offers, and the guy who caps off the touchdown there, our Breda Pest Management scoring summary, 3 plays, 23 yards, 52 seconds, and the 21-yard
that is
reception.
Former Florida Gator, I believe, Travis Taylor.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's got some wide receiver knowledge over there.
I would say that's the case.
Yeah. You want to listen to him when he talks. Maybe not tomorrow, but we will tonight.
Of course, a lot of, yeah, exactly. Georgia fans certainly understand that. Of course, a lot of great assistants have come through this Grayson program over the years, including both of our head coaches, former Grayson assistants.
Sure.
Dante Williams, an offensive coordinator at Grayson, helped lead to a state championship. Santavius Bryant was a defensive backs coach there before going to Gainesville, and then comes back as head coach here this year.
That penalty cost some yardage on the kickoff. See if they can do anything with it.
Stafford's going to have some room. He gets across midfield, and a nice tackle to prevent that from turning into a whole lot more. Dakaya Banks makes another nice play on special teams to prevent what could have been a much larger gain for Stafford. And it's good field position that right now, already trailing 2 scores, that Archer desperately needs.
I tell you, you just kind of have to, listen, you're down 14. Brandon, you played well in spots on defense. It's
really
just turnovers. You got to keep your composure, move the chains a little bit right here, and cannot turn the ball over because Grayson's already capitalized.
Doe empty backfield. That gives you 5 receivers with 4 there on the left side. Going to throw out for an easy completion there on the sideline. Still on his feet and moving inside the 30-yard line goes Colby Alexander. 4th catch of the season for Alexander. That was well designed.
Love the play call there. Your quarterback throws an interception. Last throw, you give him something easy and let your guy make a play in space. Great blocking out on the edge, and look how quick he got north-south.
Chains move, ball rest, 29-yard line, and Archer quickly right back to it. Same basic look at the empty backfield, but it's 4 receivers right side this time, and they may have also drawn Grayson off.
That's a great call there, cadence-wise.
On the defense, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
And you know the defensive line coach is over there with $1 million question. You're right in front of the football. Why did you move? Right. Nobody's closer to the football than you are. And he actually got called out of the game for that.
We're inside of 2 minutes in the first quarter. A lot of action here, but the scoring all on the side of the Rams. Doe stays empty backfield.
Empty set, quads to the bottom of the screen, got one-on-one coverage at the top.
Grayson walks a linebacker up. Doe going to roll right, now just have to throw it away. He had pressure coming, and it was coming fast in the person of Tyler Atkinson, the sophomore, and you see what he's all about.
Yeah, he wanted to go up top. You saw man-to-man coverage there, and Grayson didn't bail at all. That was tight coverage, so he.
How much does Atkinson playing at the Mike linebacker spot kind of remind you of what LSU wanted to do with Harold Perkins, where kind of take a guy who had been a very impactful edge player as a freshman and kind of move him inside for his sophomore year? How similar are those two comparisons?
A lot, and I think the best deal there, Brandon, it's best for Grayson, and now it's best for him long term. If he's 6'4", 6'5", he's a no-brainer outside guy, but he's a 6'1", super fast, explosive player, and you put him in the middle of the field. And you can also see him right here in the slot. You could spread him out a little bit. You see 16 right there directing traffic, but man, on the next level, he's going to be very similar. Look at how fast he is to the ball.
Doe takes the snap, gets it away quick, but this one's going to skip up to Alexander there. They were, I believe, trying to run the same play they had run a moment ago, but just kind of skipped it to him.
And there is a ton of big-time football players in this one, but when you kind of want to say, hey, who is that alpha with the biggest ceiling, to me, it would be Tyler Atkinson. And I told him I went down to the field, watched him warm up, came up, talked to me for a second. I said, look, man, I love the move. I think this is great for you and Grayson. And he is a heavily recruited young man. He was one of those that Brandon had 8th grade offers. He had 25 8th grade offers. He works out with Marcus Howard on his pass rush stuff. So he's got all the tools right now, and he's got 2 more years of high school football left.
How about bunch formation this time from Archer? Now throwing for Doe in the end zone. Oh! He had Colby Alexander. It looked like Alexander might have the ball, and it just fell through his hands. That was a touchdown,
man,
but not able to haul it in.
Let's see right here. This looks like a perfect pass on the run. Man.
Kind of got behind the defense, got to the corner of the end zone, just could not haul it in. And that would have been 6 for Archer. Going to keep the offense out here on 4th and 5. Going to run a running back in. Jason Fisher, the senior, going to check in here. But it looks like they're going to try to keep the offense out here. And you kind of understand this. Obviously, already trailing 2 touchdowns, you're not going to beat Grayson with field goals.
No, not down 14-0 right now. This side of the field. See if they roll him to the right. Hits Stafford on the wheel route.
Goes in motion here. Doe's going to keep it. Probably a smart play there. He's going to stay on his feet still, and he's going to score a touchdown from 24 yards out. Jordan Doe.
Man, love the play call. Get him in space. He's got run pass option. Good job blocking, and he does the rest. 4th and 5. What a conversion. 24-yard touchdown. They're right back in. They really had to answer on this drive to get yourself back in this, and great answer by the Archer offense.
So you mentioned the option. Was that a design run?
100%. No, it was run pass option. Yeah, he was able to. You see him rolling to the right, and he's looking down the field. Once he realizes they're in man-to-man coverage, everybody's run off, take off with it. Get the first down. A great read by that young man.
Freshman Andrew Rogers puts the extra point in, and Archer has gotten on the board here. 14-7's our score. Let's also tell you about the Atlanta Falcons. Football is back, and it's time to rise up. Limited season ticket inventory still remains, and you can select your seat today at atlantafalcons.com/tickets.
What is Falcons football? It's Grady putting quarterbacks on notice. It's Kyle shredding defenses like a unicorn. It's Tyler breaking tackles like phone screens. It's AJ locking down anyone on his island. It's Drake touching the sun. It's ZP breaking another record. What is Falcons football? It's all you dirty birds. Rise up.
You get the impression a lot of Falcons fans, in addition to enjoying games at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, looking forward to making the trip up to Nashville this weekend there as well. A lot of Falcons fans making the move up 75 for that.
That'll be a great time. Marietta up 14-0 on Harrison. That's another big game. We talked about Marietta early in the year. That schedule they played up front, Brandon, if they win tonight, I believe they will be in second place in the region, but they could host a playoff game.
It happened just like this a year ago, where they got hot at the exact right time in region play. The tough, rigorous schedule, perhaps setting up to do that, as you saw the short, high kick, fair caught, and ball resting at the 35-yard line. Scoring summary here presented by Breda Pest Management. 5 plays, 45 yards. Doe's keeper finishes it off, and that's our Breda Pest Management scoring summary.
Monday's meal in Woodward Academy. You keep an eye on that tonight. That is a region championship game. Rome all over Creekview. That is a region championship game.
That's the handoff. Crossing the 40-yard line is Elijah Miller. First carry of the night for Miller.
As I go through the bracket the other night, and I'll go to after this play, a couple things I looked at.
Under a minute now, first quarter. Grayson gets back up and goes quickly here. Another handoff, and tough sledding up the middle, as it has been a lot here tonight.
As you look at the Breda Pest Management score taker, Calhoun Cass. Winner, I believe, is in. Dalton is up on Cartersville. That is a region championship. The loser of that game, likely, if they win, would be at Jefferson round 2. You're talking about a tough draw now.
We talked about the depth of that region, too, earlier in the year, and Dalton was one of the teams
we didn't bring them up. We didn't bring them up.
And they're up on undefeated Cartersville here right now. Really remarkable. Miller again on the carry, trying to fight for that short yardage that he needed, and based on the spot, looks like he's going to get it.
One more quick note, as you look at the Rome Creekview, that would most likely set up a strong potential game of Langston Hughes at Rome round 2.
Unbelievable.
Rematch of the semi-state semifinals last year.
Low snap. Davis picks it up off the turf. Now throws to Cenas. He catches it 45-yard line, driven back there to midfield, and that's how our first quarter is going to conclude here. So fireworks on both sides. Grayson takes advantage of a couple of turnovers, short fields, and yet Archer comes marching right back. It's a rivalry game. A region title's potentially at stake, and it is a lot of fun here on the Peachtree Sports Network. So we're glad to have you with us on a Friday night.
At Ingles, we're proud to work with hundreds of local farms and businesses in the communities we call home. Quality, freshness, community, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
If you are on the fence about ordering McDonald's, consider this a sign.
Mix and match a double cheeseburger, 6-piece chicken McNuggets, or small fries for just $3.69. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hi, I'm Chris with MaximumCashHomeBuyers.com. Skip the baloney and the headache of realtors, showings, inspections, and repairs. Sell fast and easy to someone you trust. Inherited a home? I got you. Vacant house? I'll buy it. Home that needs work? Even better. No inspections, no fees, no gotchas, and no empty promises. If you need a stress-free guaranteed cash offer, I'm your guy. Let me prove to you why I'm Atlanta's most trusted cash home buyer. Call 678-905-9000. That's 678-905-9000.
Oh my gosh. World Chase Tag is the Pro League tournament for the planet's most intense new game, which takes the art of being hunted down to a whole new level. It is relentless and fiercely intense, with a chaser having just 20 seconds to get a hand on an invader.
He's done it! He has done it!
And there's only one rule. Don't get caught.
Tuesdays at 7 on Peachtree Sports Network.
All right, I'm here with Coach Bryant right now. 2 turnovers, 2 touchdowns, the 4th down touchdown for them. I'll keep it simple. What were your thoughts so far?
Just still not up to our standards, still not playing the game how we need to play. We just got to clean a bunch of things up.
Awesome. All right, well, we'll be back for the second quarter. Grayson holds a 14-7 lead.
Thank you so much, Craig Sager Jr. and also Centavius Bryant there as well. Just 29 years old, and really Grayson, one of the premier jobs in the state. I mean, that's an amazing job for a coach this young. His first ever head coaching position to be here at Grayson. Remarkable. Davis now looking at a fresh set and a chance to throw, but he's going to go down again.
Tell you what,
brought
man,
down the play. How about 3rd sack of the night for Trent Mapp?
I tell you what, he is making the most of his opportunity on TV tonight, because this young man has been a problem for Grayson. Look at their double team, and look at him fight through the double team, man. Nice job. That's what you want out of the defensive line. Do not quit. Double team, didn't think he was going to get there. He fights through it.
Looking at 3rd and 7 now. Davis going to throw. Pass complete. Midfield and down right there. Nothing doing for Aiden Taylor.
I'm telling you, Archer's defense has not played bad. He's had a couple turnovers and put them in short areas, but they have played well so far.
4th down. Grayson doesn't hesitate. They're going to go for it, or at least they're showing that. Davis may have tried to hard count, pull him off, and yeah, that's going to send punter on here really quick. And that's going to run Stafford in as the punt return man now for Archer. Good punt away. Bouncing in the 10. Stafford just has to let it roll, and it. Did he get it right there at the? No, they're going to say it went in for a touchback.
Yeah, it went in.
I'm going to say it went in for a touchback. Yeah, you had a lot going on there. You had Stafford maybe a little close to the football. You had Grayson trying to stop it before it goes in the end zone. Ultimately ends up being a touchback.
What worries you there, if that ball takes a kick to the left, it hits your foot, and you're on the 1. So I guarantee you Dante Williams is going to talk to him about that.
While we have a moment here, we'll see the Archer resume presented by Smart Local 85. Of course, a program turning around from a year ago, 2-8, now 5-3, and 3-0 in the region. Made the state finals if you're going to go back to 2014. And when you think about guys who've come through here, Andrew Booth, one of the top defensive backs in recent Georgia high school football history. Of course, Kobe Wooden and
you want to talk about a put-together defensive back.
Yeah, he really was.
Man,
really was. And really kind of represented what, Dabo Swinney for a while had a lot of success coming to the Atlanta area and really recruiting those defensive backs. Of course, that brought to you by Smart Local 85.
That crew he had with Booth and Miles Murphy and all that crowd. They put some rings on some fingers because of those kids.
A lot of our audience knows, but Dante Williams, as you see the pass caught. A lot of our audience knows that Williams, former offensive coordinator here at Grayson, won a state championship, but most recently before coming to Archer was also a state champion there at Collins Hill as their offensive coordinator.
I tell you what, probably fun to call plays with Travis Hunter and Sam Horn. I would just go out on a limb with that.
That's the case, as Doe's keeper doesn't go anywhere. So
14's William Wallace on that reception.
Yeah, so that's a different jersey number than we had him wearing tonight. So that's an important name to know too. Wallace was the guy that stepped in at quarterback for Jordan Doe when Doe was out. So Wallace tonight wearing 14, that'll be something to make a note of because that's a guy we'll be talking about a lot here throughout the evening. Doe going to run again. It worked for him in the touchdown, so he's going to try to make it happen again. And he's going to move the chains on the first down. So all of a sudden, that's a new wrinkle. They've had a hard time establishing the traditional run, but Doe as a runner working out pretty well.
Yep, they're going quarterback draw here. Grayson with 3 down linemen. They just have a power here. 75 pulls, gets on the linebacker, and he does the rest. Just a quarterback power.
48 carries, 310 yards coming in for tonight. Now Doe will throw, dump it off to Stafford. Stafford looks for a block, gets up near a first down again. So the sophomore helps move the chains for Archer.
Tell you, I've been around Dante Williams and I've seen him. I've watched Collins Hill so much. Those crossing routes, he ran 1,000,000 crossing routes to Travis Hunter and those guys.
3 down lineman for Grayson defensively. Doe dumps it off, wide receiver screen.
Jeremiah Staten overran a bubble route. And that tells you he recognized it, but he took the wrong angle. You don't see that much.
Emmanuel McCray was the receiver, actually a running back kind of lined up out wide.
They are empty. They're empty. 5 wide again.
Trying to stay away from the middle of this field, perhaps the strength of the Grayson defense. You see Doe going to be wrapped up there. Nice job. Open field tackle by Kel Ikepachukwu.
I'll tell you what they're doing. They're saying our 5 guys can block these 3 if we spread you out.
If you want to know what football is at all levels now, in a lot of ways, this game is sort of a perfect replica of that. Can you make space tackles? You know,
Yes,
can you tackle someone in
100%.
space?
Can you run him down and get him to the ground?
This is football in a nutshell here right now.
That's why the word thumper is no longer used on Saturdays.
It's really about being able to get to the guy, wrap him up, and bring him down. And Ikepachukwu did it that strong that time. Now traditional handoff, and that's why they haven't run a lot of those, because Grayson flies to the football.
Andre Fuller again sets the edge, gets off the block.
Yeah, Fuller's got offers from the likes of South Carolina and UAB and Mississippi State, just a junior.
I mean, that kid's got another year of high school football.
It's amazing.
Don't miss many workouts, I can tell you that.
But, you know, covering a team like Grayson, as we're doing tonight, it's a similar feeling to like a Georgia League Classic or something like that, where, you know, you're basically just getting the offer list together for virtually every player on the field.
I'm honestly, when I go to Grayson, I have to spend an hour, because I was like, you bring out your P5 kids and they start lining up.
And, you know, Archer on the other side, you know, this is a team that has so many sophomore starters right now that I think that within the next year or
False start.
Oh, yeah.
On the offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
And you can see the left tackle there, number 50 for Archer, is very upset. We had a false start on 56, I believe, but you see Jalen Gamble, junior offensive lineman, and he really had some words for his guys, was pointing to his helmet saying, get it together, get it together. Too many false starts already.
Archer going to go empty backfield again, but just to finish my point really quick, that a lot of sophomores here I think have a chance to be Power 5 type recruits. And in this region, by the way, Archer's sort of the rare exception from the standpoint. They don't really have a Power 5 level senior right now, whereas most of the teams in this region have very many of them, a lot of them very famous. Pass pressure coming the way of Doe, slammed hard to the turf that time by Darren McKenzie.
That's going to bring up about 4th and 15.
Yeah, looks like they're going to run the punter on the field. So they're on the Rams side of the field, obviously, but when you look at the overall distance here, that's enough to get them bringing in Jackson Gady.
They came after the very first one and almost got some pressure here. Let's see if they decide to come after this one.
Aiden Taylor, one of the guys back deep to receive here. Got a second return man back here right now there as well.
They look punt safe right now. We'll set up for the return. Got two deep returners.
Yeah, Miles Woods back there with Taylor on this. Taylor going to field it inside the 5, and he's going to go down.
Great
so
coverage.
maybe would have liked to have had that decision back again to try to return that one inside the 10, and Archer was right on top of it, and that's going to back Grayson up here. They've got a touchdown lead, but they're staring at a long field, and we're just underway here in the second quarter. We're almost halfway home now. Good to have you with us here on the Peachtree Sports Network.
Hey, is the power off on this?
I don't know. Just take it off.
Safety violation, unsafe work conditions.
In the construction trades unions, safety is our highest priority, and we train you to recognize and speak out on unsafe working conditions so that everyone arrives and goes home safely. Learn about careers in construction at GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com.
The Georgia Sheet Metal JETC provides apprentices with free training and careers that are stable and essential to the operation of the modern world. Both craft jobs and management positions offer lucrative pay with benefits as well as the stability of a growing industry. Skilled journeymen in the sheet metal industry are essential to our community now and in the future. Learn more about free technical training with no student debt at our website, careersinsheetmetal.com.
Sweetheart, please don't forget to wear your seatbelt. I got it, Mom. It's a really nice day, living in the right space. Breathing your grace, got me feeling some kind of way.
In the blink of an eye, so many tomorrows can disappear. Buckle up for your future, every trip, every time. A message from the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Okay, we're back here. Grayson, after a punt fielded inside the 10, going to actually put him right there around 8-yard line here. Up by a touchdown. Davis going to throw. RPO play, middle of the field, up to the 17-yard line. Pickup of about 7 that time, maybe 8. And Grayson going to get right back to it quickly here. Davis, handoff, room to run up the middle. That's Elder. On his feet and down the sideline goes Dylan Elder into Tiger territory, and he's still on his feet.
Wow.
And he's going to go 82 yards for a touchdown.
Great balance right there and did not let them push him out of bounds, but it started, Brandon, up front with the guard and tackle. Watch them seal these two guys off, and he runs right through there untouched. Second guy missed, breaks one tackle, and this is where you show that strength right here to take this hit and not go out of bounds to finish it off. Big time touchdown for Grayson.
Go ahead and say it. You can say it.
I'm saving my contact balance. I have them in the bank, man.
If there ever was contact balance, that was it, though. And to me, that's what Grayson football has been over the years, too, right?
Yep.
Sound blocking up front, big hole, athletic running back.
Yep.
Explosive play.
When you're able to get clean on the second level and the backer can't get him, it's going to be a huge play, and it ended up being a touchdown.
And ends up being an opportunity for us to check in on the Grayson resume here, presented by Smart Local 85. And when you look at the guys who've come through here over the years, coaches and players both, it's quite a distinguished list. And Tavius Bryant, the next in line as a coach here. Remarkable turnaround from when we saw them really beaten up pretty good by Walton to begin the year in the Corky Kell Dave Hunter Classic. But, man, they've been impressive since then. And, of course, a state championship pedigree around here in 2011 and 2016, and of course 2020 there as well.
You can add Wanye Morris as an offensive tackle in the NFL right now, but Robert Kindici, who was the consensus #1 player in the country in 2012, he was a first-round draft pick of the Arizona Cardinals, I believe. And still to this day, I don't know that I've seen a football player in the state of Georgia that looked like him when he came out of the locker room.
Yeah, no doubt. Scoring summary presented by Breda Pass Management. 2 plays, 92 yards. The Elder touchdown caps it off. Return here, going to get up across the 25-yard line. Obviously, Kimdichie didn't go to Georgia and really
committed to Clemson for a year and a
Clemson,
half.
then went to Ole Miss. But what I was going to ask you is that the most hyped recruitment in your career, you think?
That was the first super recruit. That was the first one, like, you couldn't. And I'll tell you a quick story. It got to a point where he wouldn't talk to anybody, and I understood it. I went to my secret weapon. I worked for Scout.com. So did Laura Rutledge. I brought Laura Rutledge over there, and let me tell you something. Robert Kimdichie didn't shut up for an hour, so I learned a lesson right then in life. My good friend Laura Rutledge, who you see on TV every week, rode over with her, and I'd be dang if Robert was like, how you doing, Mr. Mansell? It's good to see you. We sat down, and he gave us a great story.
That is certainly understandable. 5:42, second quarter of play. Handoff by Doe. And it's just anything to the middle of the field. Running play, it's just been tough. That's where Grayson has so much strength. The success has been either getting them off balance with the quarterback run or the kind of wide receiver screen style stuff towards the sideline.
Got to have it, and really right now the empty set is one that's giving them some positive plays, and also that's with the legs of their quarterbacks. They go back empty right here on 2nd and 10. We'll go quads to the left. You're going to have man-to-man up top. See if they take a shot up there.
Yeah, McCray is the running back over on the left side, kind of in that bunch, but they go back to Alexander, a guy they've gone to a lot tonight.
Probably going to be a hold as well there too, trying to hold that block. Took the ball a little bit longer to get over there. That's a long throw for a sophomore in high school, and the speed of Grayson to close on that ball probably got a holding out on the edge.
What's interesting here while we wait on the official word is that's by my count the 4th time tonight.
Holding by the offense. That penalty's declined. 3rd down.
That is by my count the 4th time tonight Alexander's been targeted. Had 3 catches for the season coming into tonight, but we've really only seen William Wallace targeted 1 time tonight, and coming into the evening, Wallace has 31 catches, 410 yards. You can make case that Wallace may have been the most important player on offense all year long, because he was also at one point in time starting quarterback when Doe was injured. We have not seen Wallace, who's wearing a different jersey number tonight, number 14. We have not seen him as involved in the offense tonight as perhaps we would have expected to. Doe rolling to his right. Big battle for the football over there, and it's going to be caught. And that's Stafford.
That's a good battle there between Jalen Bell and Stafford. And you're talking about a tight window now for Doe to throw it into. But you see right here, if we get the replay, man, that was tight coverage by Bell.
Bell's an LSU commit, too.
The LSU commit. Yeah, his dad's a college coach, I believe, at Akron. Look at that. On it. Gets upfield.
So if Stafford as a sophomore is going to go win a one-on-one battle against a guy like Bell like that, that gives you an idea.
100%. He looks the part. I went down with the intent to watch him in warm-ups, like what I saw.
All right. So Archer quickly has to give it back here. Not what they wanted to do. Taylor will be back deep to receive, but it's actually going to go on the other side, and it's a fair catch. There at the 38-yard line. Grayson with a 2-touchdown lead, about to go back on offense again. And, of course, our team schedules here for Grayson, presented by Personal Touch Lawn Care. I mentioned the loss to Walton beginning of the year, 49-27.
And it wasn't that close.
It really wasn't. And yet they've bounced back very well since then, including going out of state for a win, getting a real big win in an emotional game against Adam Carter, the former Grayson coach, making his return with Lowndes. And then,
Newton loss was, and I tell you, Newton's. That was a surprising game last night, losing to South Gwinnett, but it happens.
You've heard Dante Williams say it, that he kind of views this as the SEC of Georgia high school football, which folks in Region 1, I'm sure that kind of gets them fired up a little bit. But obviously when you look at the top 10 level competition here in Region 4, you understand where that comes from. Once again, Archer true on the running play, and not much doing that time for Elijah Miller. And you see Trent Mapp continuing to enjoy a good night.
He's had a really good night. I'm not real sure what's going on with his recruitment, but this definitely is not hurting his draft stock, I guess you could say.
Miller, the running back, goes in motion. Now you'll create empty backfield here for Grayson. That'll give you 2 receivers with a tight end attached. Davis going to throw wide open. That's Fox. And he's going to go easily into the end zone for his second touchdown of the night. This one from 63 yards out.
Obviously a busted coverage there. They had a stacked. See the formation? They faked that screen, got all the eyes up that way. Great play design. They faked the bubble from the stacked twins at the top and just run Kylan Fox right up the seam from the attached tight end position. And great play design, great call. You hear Kirby Smart talk about it all the time, eye discipline. They caught Archer right there, not eye discipline, looking at that twin set. And Fox goes right up the seam for a touchdown.
Interestingly, Fox is one of 2 four-star recruits for Grayson committed to UCF. The other one, Walclair Flynn, the left tackle. So Gus Malzahn having some success here with this Grayson program here right now. High-value recruits on their way to Orlando. Grayson's got a lead. We'll be right back.
Mo.
This Movember, the moustache is calling once more. Raise funds, save lives. Sign up at Movember.com.
Thank you for watching Georgia High School Heroes presented by Ingles. I'm Chris Bainbridge, and we're taking a look at some of the greatest high school football players ever to play the game in the great state of Georgia. Having one player from your town on this list is impressive. Having 2 brothers? Well, that's singularly unique. But that's what we have with the Sharp brothers from Glenville. We've already reviewed the accolades of older brother Sterling. This week, the spotlight shines on Shannon Sharp. The Hall of Fame tight end dazzled in high school, and the field that witnessed his greatness now bears his name. His football prowess took him to Savannah State, where his dominance continued, and eventually to the NFL, where he starred on back-to-back Super Bowl winning teams with the Denver Broncos. His bust now sits in Canton, Ohio. Thanks for watching Georgia High School Heroes, presented by Ingles.
The GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com drive for the GHSA state title is sponsored by Kroger. Boost by Kroger Plus. More savings, more benefits, a new level of membership. Dog Nation. Visit DogNation.com for the latest Georgia team news and recruiting information. Georgia's Rome, where the rivers meet and the mountains begin. The Governor's Office of Highway Safety. Seatbelts save lives. The Governor's Office of Highway Safety reminds you to buckle up before every trip. And by the U.S. Army, be all you can be.
And we are back, and Grayson is adding to its lead here. 28-7, our new score. Peachtree Sports Network. Nice to have you with us here as the regular season kind of moves into its most pivotal moments, and we'll be following that tonight here in Region 4, but also across the state there as well with games of note. Scoring summer here for Grayson. 2 plays, 63 yards, 45 seconds off the clock. Fox gets the touchdown, second of the night for Kylan Fox here.
I want to take a second too, Brandon, as we get into this. Craig Sager and the Score Atlanta office, they will start kind of updating some brackets as the week goes on, because there'll be champions crowned tonight, region champs, so you'll know who those 1 seeds are. And
Doe going to throw, going the way of Alexander, who's actually been injured and just now kind of coming back to play for Archer. Kind of explains his heavy usage tonight compared to
getting him
games
back,
that he missed. Yeah, so that's obviously a big part of this offense to get back. And injuries have been a story, obviously, for Archer here this year, because they were forced to play without Jordan Doe, the quarterback. William Wallace stepped in and played well there. So they've had to move some pieces around here this season. Under 3 minutes in the first half now.
A little different set here from them. See if they can run the ball.
It is going to be a running play.
There's nothing there when they go.
just really hard to attack Grayson right there.
Not moving bodies, not able to reestablish the line of scrimmage against this Grayson defensive front out of that set. You see them just speed, getting off blocks, penetration. Grayson staff really going to be happy with what they've seen up front with those guys tonight so far.
Yeah, credit Chandler Covington with the tackle, a junior. Grayson now creeping up guys the line of scrimmage. Stafford goes in motion. Handoff again. That's going to be enough for first down. They blocked that one up pretty well that time.
Yep. He took a shot. See if he's getting up a little bit slow, a little bit wobbly.
Manuel McCray's had a great year for Archer. Dante Williams calls him kind of the alpha male of the team. But he took a big hit.
Yeah, he took a shot there. You might want to check him out.
You see Dante Williams there, the second-year head coach. Told a great story about, having worked at Collins Hill. He said, every young coach thinks they're ready to be a head coach, but working there with Lenny Gregory, he said, that's this place where I got, as he likes to call it, really ready. Had a chance to sit in on Booster Club meetings and sitting in, on, other activities the head coach has to do. Administrative activities, that's the right word.
Yes.
And he said it's really from there, and obviously we know Coach Gregory and what a great teacher he is, and teaching Dante Williams how to be a head coach, one of the things you would obviously expect Lenny Gregory to do. And when you see how high-powered that Collins Hill offense was, you knew it was a matter of time before Dante Williams had a job the likes of which he has right now. Pass complete and then met there right away. Miles Woods, three-star defensive back there to make a tackle right away.
Lenny Gregory, known him for a long time. Great coach, great guy. Moved up to my area and he took what many people would text and ask me, what are you doing? He took a job at Gordon Central, a team that hadn't won a game in a long, long time, but seems to be enjoying Northwest Georgia, and I know that he's going to get that program as good as they can be, but he is a great guy.
William Wallace caught it and stayed on his feet. And that's going to be good for a first down again.
Lenny Gregory was actually the legal guardian of Robert Kendichi. So Robert Kendichi lived with him for 2 or 3 years. So I would
timeout. Archer.
I would pester.
That's their first charge timeout.
Lenny as much as I could, trying to figure out what was going on. But
while Archer calls a timeout to stop it here, trying to cut into this Grayson lead, we'll see the Archer team schedule presented by Personal Touch Lawn Care. We saw them. It wasn't a game that you and I did, but it was in our Corky Kell Dave Hunter Classic against North Forsyth. They won 35-16. And then I think the game that kind of changed the season, and perhaps one of the reasons we're here tonight, is back on October 13th. That win against Parkview, that got everybody's attention.
That's one of those ones where you're scrolling through the Twitter at night and you're like, wait a minute, what? What happened? And that kind of turned things around. You come back and win South Gwinnett. And
you can make a case one of the surprising wins of the year, certainly in the Atlanta area for sure.
No doubt.
And as Rusty told you earlier, you see Newton waiting in the final game of the regular season next week, but it's important to note that because of tiebreakers, Newton's already lost twice in the region. So if Archer were to win tonight, that would clinch the region title for them.
I tell you, I had a chance to talk to Grayson staff about Walton this afternoon, and they said, listen, we still haven't faced anybody like Jeremy Heslinski. They were talking about what he can do, his arm, the throwing off platform. They were still overly impressed at facing Walton.
Stafford goes in motion. Doe looking his way on the right side. Now going to have to keep it because of pressure and wrapped up and dropped down right there. Uriah Points there to make the stop. Let me ask you this quickly. How big is the difference between being a 1 seed and a 2 seed compared to being a 2 seed and a 3 seed?
Well, you get that home game. If you're a 3 seed, you're on the road immediately.
That's my point. So when you're how much more valuable is being a 1 and a 2? I mean, obviously there's a huge split.
It's a big deal because you get guaranteed minimum 2 games at home as long as you win.
That's what it comes down to.
Yes, you get 2 games at home, and then you get into the coin toss if you're with against another 1 seed in the round 3.
Doe trying to find somebody open, now just has to get rid of it. Wallace was his closest receiver.
He took a shot.
McCray was over there too.
He's limping. He is limping.
Doe looks like he's going to have to come out here with 35 seconds left, and you would presume now that's going to put William Wallace back at quarterback. When Wallace played in place of Doe, and you hope that Doe's okay, and you see right there William Wallace is going to go in. When Wallace played in place of Doe, he played well, 16 of 26, 216 yards passing, and so he's going to be called back in here to that duty. That kind of takes a wide receiver away from Archer now, but Wallace has proven himself to be pretty capable, and you certainly hope that Jordan Doe is okay. We'll try to give you an update on that.
Yeah, you got a trainer looking right at that ankle, and you hate to see that, but big 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8 here.
Stafford in motion again on the left side. Pressure coming on Wallace, and he's going to go down right there. Chased him down from behind, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Man, they're fast. They are fast. You're talking about this region versus Region 1. Lowndes came up here a couple weeks ago and got housed
in an emotional game.
40-0 by Grayson.
So Archer doesn't look like they're going to run another play. Yeah, going to just sort of figure out what's going on with Doe and take their time here and go into the half. Trailing, okay, so maybe now they are going to call. Yeah,
Archer.
Now they are going to call timeout.
Timeout of the first half.
So what Archer decides to do here is sort of save it for one play and give itself a chance on the kind of the Hail Mary attempt here. So the ball will rest the 48-yard line, and I don't see where Doe is on the sideline. Looks like he is in like a true injury 10 situation.
Yeah. Got an update from Middle Georgia. Brandon, real quick story. Warner Robins is up 30-14 on Jones County. Jones County and Warner Robins is a region championship. Oh, by the way, the starting quarterback for Jones County the first 4 games of the year, Judd Anderson, is now at Warner Robins.
He played Northside twice.
He beat him twice.
He played Northside twice.
That will be a trivia question one day.
There can't be a lot of,
no, not in a 3-week span.
Yeah, not in a 3-week span. There can't be a lot of examples in state history of a guy playing the same team within 3 weeks. It's
Crazy
an amazing
deal.
situation.
It is.
And you've got ties with both coaching staffs there,
both
too.
Coaching staffs, yep. So that's another region championship game.
When we were down in Central Georgia earlier this year, I loved it down there.
It's fantastic.
I love that part of the state's passion for high school football. Going to be the final play of the half. Going to dump it off as a screen, and it is just tough.
Man, Atkinson ripped it out.
Yeah, I think it's not going to matter. It's going to be zeros in the clock.
Yep.
But it's just tough to do anything like that against Grayson because of how quickly they fly to the ball. Their defense is looking the part here thus far. And they've got the lead, 28-7. 2 of those touchdowns aided by very short fields, though. So Archer still is going to have its chances here in the second half. And speaking of the half, we've got a halftime show coming up for you here. Good to have you on the Peachtree Sports Network on a Friday night.
Hendrick.
Drive now, pay later. Shop HendrickCars.com this month and make no payments for 90 days. Over 20,000 new and pre-owned vehicles. No payments for 90 days. Visit HendrickCars.com.
Beginning the morning you opened your eyes, we spent every waking moment preparing you for the day you'd leave our nest. Whether it's driving to practice or helping with homework, it's all prepared you for, what am I going to be when I grow up? Will you be ready?
After much thought, I made my decision to take my talents to the IBEW Local 613.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers is not simply a job, it's a career. Visit IBEW613.org to begin a new future today.
My marriage kind of took a different path. He told me he was not moving back into the home. My biggest fear was the unknown. What would happen with the children and myself? What would happen with the house? I found Meriwether and Tharp. They told me that they would walk me through this divorce, and they did that tenfold. You need an attorney. You need the best attorney, and that's going to be Meriwether and Tharp.
I've used R.S. Andrews 15 years, purchased 2 heating and air systems, so I rely on their technicians for service. I call, they come, it's fixed. And I appreciate Andrews' commitment. He gives it his all. That's how R.S. Andrews makes me smile.
Yikey Wawa! Running out of hot water is one way your water heater cries out for help.
Call R.S. Andrews. Get a water heater rejuvenation. Your water heater gets added life, you get more hot water. Another way R.S. Andrews makes you smile today.
Welcome to the halftime show presented by Sports Turf. I'm here now with our featured guest, brought to you by Kroger, Archer Principal, Dr. Keisha Thompson. So great to have you on, joining us at halftime. This is your second year at the school, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so what is it about just being at Archer? What do you like most, just the community and the pride around this program?
Well, I love the community, of course, and I love our students. We have, I think, some of the best students in Gwinnett County Public Schools, and I may be biased, but we have awesome students. Our faculty and our staff are awesome. They do a great job, and our coaching staff has been phenomenal. We are having a great second year with our coach Dante Williams as well, because this is his second year as well with us.
That's right, and what I really like about Archer, it's kind of the new kid on the block in Gwinnett, but there's so much pride here. I've run into alumni on the sideline. Everyone loves just saying they went to Archer. So what have you noticed just about this being a special place in Gwinnett?
Well, I just noticed that, like you said, we have a lot of school pride to say we are one of the newer schools in the district, and we do have a lot of students that come back that visit us. So we have a lot of alumni, and we also have a lot of alumni that work with us and that really take pride in the school and what we do. And we still have a lot of our founding staff members that still work here.
And so as a principal, you came 2 years ago. You mentioned Dante Williams came. What do you guys try to do just with the underclassmen that are coming to Archer, just to tell them what the experience is going to be like and just what to expect?
Well, of course, we reach out and we connect with everybody in our community, and we have opportunities for our students to come out and work with them, get them acclimated to being at Archer High School and get to know a little bit more about the school. This summer, they started working with our 8th grade students that were coming over to help build and establish that culture, that football culture that you see here tonight.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us. Now we're going to toss it real quick and look at that beautiful Archer band.
If you are on the fence about ordering McDonald's, consider this a sign.
Mix and match a double cheeseburger, 6-piece chicken McNuggets, or small fries for just $3.69. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
This is a Peachtree Sports Network weather update, powered by Atlanta News First.
Hope you're having a great Friday. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Valdez with your Peachtree Sports Network weather update. We'll keep it dry through the evening. If you have plans tonight, it will be mild. Can't rule out a stray little sprinkle along the coast, but for the most part, the dry weather we've seen all week will continue. And we're going to see a ton of sunshine as you wake up tomorrow morning, with lots of sunshine through the entire weekend. Not only will we see lots of sunshine, we'll see above average temperatures. For tonight, temperatures a good 10+ degrees warmer than what we typically typically see this time of year, mainly in the 50s and 60s. And then it will get even warmer as we start off the weekend on Saturday. High temperatures in the 80s across the entire state of Georgia. So it will be warm, it will be sunny, and it will be gorgeous on this last weekend of October. Hopefully you have some amazing and fun weekend plans.
This is the Fantasy GOAT.
It's the difference between being the greatest of all time or having a bad season.
A complete disaster.
Saturdays at 6 on Peachtree Sports Network.
Welcome to this week's segment of Talking Trades. I'm Ashley Rose, once again joined by Kenny Mullins of the IBEW. Now, Kenny, you started AMPed at IBEW 613. Tell us a little bit about it and what it stands for.
So AMPed is Apprentices Mandating Progress every day. It's for our apprentices. It gives them an avenue for their voice to be heard and to teach them about the IBEW and to make sure that our principles are followed, and just gives them an actual sounding board to be able to discuss anything they want to discuss.
So you're helping apprentices advance in the trades?
Yes. So AMPS originally was created to allow specialized training. So we're in construction, but also there's a different avenue that some of our workers and people want to take, and that's to be on the management side, estimating, building information, which is BIM, project management, things of that nature that they don't get through our apprenticeship program. AMPS will offer that for them if they choose for no cost.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So how do these AMPed events help bring people together?
So the events that we host together brings in our apprentices that are currently enrolled into our apprenticeship program. And we do team building things at the actual events. We do cookouts, we have food trucks, we have ice cream truck. We'll do some type of event. Usually we play beanbag toss, cornhole, just to get together and just get to know each other. Because we're a big business. We got 5,170 people. So anytime we can network and show solidarity and show that we have each other's back, that's what we do at these events. And it's a great turnout. The energy is unbelievable. The generation coming up now is full of such great energy and union-minded and hard workers. So it's just a time to really admire them and help them and give them whatever they need.
Now, it's great for them to be with the team and to meet everybody and have that teamwork aspect, but what about the importance of giving back to the community? I know that's huge for IBEW.
Yeah, that is a major factor. Again, it falls into our principles. We want to be a presence in the community. We want to help people. And everybody that's involved in AMP, they understand that, and they're on board with doing whatever we can do in the outreach of the community. You know, it may be helping shut-ins, you know, build a wheelchair ramp or different things like that. We just want to make a difference and help people in the surrounding communities and here in Atlanta. That's what we do. We care about people.
Well, Kenny, thank you so much for joining us on today's segment of Talking Trades. You can always find out more at IBEW613.org. We'll see you guys next week.
Great teams are committed, focused on the details, and work hard to be their best. From practice to games, right down to their gear. Your field is a critical part of the game that allows your athletes to showcase their athletic abilities. Sports Turf is committed to bringing your team innovative sports surfaces with unparalleled performance. You bring the vision. Our team brings it to life.
A journeyman with Local 85, when you turn out, you can be hitting six figures.
Hey, I have your back, you have my back. We're going to do this together. We're one for all for one.
College just wasn't for me. Let's look into actual career jobs that wouldn't take college, where I wouldn't, lose money and all that. Instead of losing a lot more money at the end, why not make money and make more money at the end?
What does it mean when people say America is a land of opportunity?
It means the power to discover.
To redefine yourself.
To improve yourself.
To challenge yourself.
To realize there's more in you
than you ever knew
that you could do.
It means giving people an open field to explore what they do best.
With the best tools.
The best training.
The best technology in the world.
We bring out the best in the people who serve.
So you can be all you can be.
Welcome back to the Halftime Show presented by Sports Turf. I'm here now with Score Atlanta's Najee Wilkins. Najee, before we look at these scores from around the state, let's talk a little bit about what we saw in the first half. What stood out to you, and what does Archer need to do to get back in this one?
I think Archer got to get the weapons involved. You got to look at William Wallace, got to get him more involved. We'll see how it looks in the second half. Looks like Jordan Doe went down with the injury there late. We'll see if he's able to come out and give it. I think you got to get the ball to your playmakers. Get the ball to Jonathan Stafford, get him out in space, let him do his thing. And the key in this game so far has been Colin Fox. 2 touchdowns, a red zone touchdown. He's been balling. He's been unguardable. And then the 2 turnovers, the muff punt, and then also the interception.
That's right. And Kylan Fox, he's such a mismatch. I mean, the guy is just an absolute beast. I also think Archer, some of the penalties have got them off the rhythm offensively, but we've seen them put William Wallace in at quarterback a couple weeks ago against Parkview, led an incredible comeback. So I really like what I see from both teams in the first half. Should be a good one. But let's go ahead. Let's turn to the scoreboard, check out some of these other big region matchups.
Let's do it.
All right, so on the first page, Rome looks like they're going to clinch that region. They've been outstanding. Defense doing it again. What else stands out on this page, Najee?
I think it got to be that Blessed Trinity is up 17-14. They win that game. They go to 4-1 on the region. Alpharetta is looking to win that game. If they're able to win, they set up a region championship against Roswell the following week. Got to go Gainesville again. They're balling region championship against North Forsyth up 21-7. And last one, I'll throw it to you, Craig. The Warner Robins, right? That's a game where Judd Anderson used to play for that team. They're down right now, or they're up right now, 17-7, playing big time against his former team with the region championship on the line.
Yeah, Warner Robins been hot lately, and then Cass a big lead on Calhoun. This is the season finale for both teams. They're trying to snap, I think, a 23-year playoff streak for Calhoun, and we'll see if Cass can hold on. Maybe that means Devin Henderson's been back, but they came out strong in that first half.
Yes, sir. All right, looks like we got a new update score. Cartersville just went up against Dalton. Dalton was up when we last checked, 21-14, so 14 unanswered for Cartersville. I think that's the big-time result as well in that one. What do you see, Craig?
Yeah, well, certainly no lead is safe against Cartersville. I mean, every single region game, they've made a comeback, so this might be another one for them to clinch that region title. And as we mentioned, season finale for both of those. East side, they're trying to stay unbeaten, and then they'll have a big region championship against Jefferson next week. And you see Loganville and Flowery Branch are in a battle right now for that number 3 seed. Also, Spalding's trying to close out a perfect season and win a region title against Perry.
Big right here. LaGrange having a big-time season up against Fayette County, 28-13. And then one that you've been talking about on your show, Craig, Stockbridge, surprise team at 5A. They've been doing the thing up 21-7 right now. They have been getting things going and playing really, really well. And Central Carroll, that freshman quarterback, J.R. Harris, 21-0 in a big-time region championship game.
Yeah, you shut down that Northwest Whitfield offense. You were doing outstanding work defensively. In Stockbridge, their only losses this season, Colquitt County and Douglas County. That is a dangerous team in 4A. They're about to clinch back-to-back region titles tonight. All right, so there you saw it. Lots of great second half action coming up, including our game. We'll be back for the second half.
Is your car costing you a lot of money? I don't mean the cost of your car payment or your auto insurance. I'm talking about everything else.
Head gasket repair, $1,340? There goes our savings.
We keep our cars in okay shape, but I swear, every time something goes wrong, it costs $1,000.
Stop worrying about what might go wrong with your car. Call now and get your Carefree Auto Card at no cost today. Activate it to protect your wallet from big car expenses.
We saved over $1,000 last year on oil changes, tires, and repairs. Thanks to Carefree Auto.
How does Carefree Auto work? Here's a great example. Haley was recently stranded when her car broke down. She needed an emergency tow and then a costly repair. She used her Carefree Auto Card and the tow truck was free. Plus, she got a check for $486 for her repair. So call the number on your screen right now and we'll send your Carefree Auto Card at no cost today. Activate it and you'll get the same protection for up to 4 more of your cars free. You heard right. Just $19.95 a month includes up to 5 cars. Even tires and wheels are included. Call now, get your card, and make driving carefree.
Call 1-800-407-4800 to get your Carefree Auto Card and free information. Don't wait. Call 1-800-407-4800 now.
Attention, it's time for the morning announcements. Make sure your parents are aware of the Ingalls Tools for Schools program and ask them to link their Ingalls Advantage card to our school. Remember, you have to do it each year. Now please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome back, everybody. You see the score. Grayson on top of Archer right now, 28-7. We'll kind of talk to you about how that happened and what Archer can do to kind of get back in this football game there as well. Let's start with our halftime stats presented by the Mechanical Trades Institute. Brandon Adams, Rusty Manziel breaking this down for you. I think one of the things you see here, Rusty, is for Archer, difficult time establishing the run. Grayson, which has been so balanced throughout the year, once again, that's the case there for them. And obviously, turnovers here are really big for Archer there as well.
I mean, people are going to turn on, look at this score and think this is a blowout. It's really not. It was those 3 turnovers costly. I believe they had a busted coverage on one play, and they've had a missed tackle, and that's what football is about. But this game is no way indicative of a 28-7 score as you would turn on TV and see. I think Archer's got a lot of fight left in them.
Yeah, if you kind of think about this on kind of a per-play basis, a lot more successful plays than not on both sides of the ball.
Grayson's got 3 first downs, and they're winning by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, Fox got behind the defense there at the end of the first half. And, you know, you've also got the story of the Grayson defense, how tough it is to run on them and how much they just fly to the football. That's a big story as well. In fact, for more on this, let's also show you our halftime highlights here, presented by Ford there as well. And you can kind of see some of the action here, and no shortage of highlights here. Starting with that man right there who's had such a big night getting after the quarterback.
Trent Mapp, number 90, has been the MVP so far for Archer on defense.
But unfortunately, after a big stop defensively, it was the muffed punt. That got Grayson the football on a short field. And shortly after that, J.D. Davis would strike the first touchdown of the night for Kylan Fox.
See the interception here by Jalen Bell. It just drops back there. Good job of reading the quarterback's eyes, makes that pick. But then you see John Cenas right here. They were one-on-one with him, and J.D. Davis throws a strike for another touchdown.
Yeah, relatively quiet night so far for Cenas, but he shows you just how valuable he can be. And then how about Grayson on the ground, getting a chance to see Dylan Elder, who would go more than 60 yards for the touchdown there. Found a seam, got a good block, and he was on his way. And then one more big highlight play here, the second touchdown of the night from Kylan Fox. Another big strike there, and that's the difference. It's Grayson on top, 28-7. A lot of big-time athletes making some big-time plays, and the Rams have their sights on a big rivalry win on the road. But, of course, Archer still has 24 minutes to do something about that. And we'll see what they're able to do right after this. So we're going to take a quick break. It's Brandon Adams and it's Rusty Manziel. It's our big game here, Drive for the GHSA state title, presented by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. We'll be right back with you on the Peachtree Sports Network.
Man, you know how to do this? Man, I don't even know. I was flipping burgers last week.
Violation, unsportsmanlike conduct, impersonating a craftsman.
Skilled trade unions are well-trained career pros, not part-timers. Construction is a rewarding and lucrative career with the advancement potential, but you have to do it the right way with the right training. Learn how you can be a pro. Find your career at GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com.
Planting season is here, and it's time to get your yard looking its best. So treat your yard to the perfect touch from the professionals at Personal Touch Lawn Care. Mowing, maintenance, design, and construction. Personal Touch Lawn Care does it all.
If my yard is taken care of, it's one thing off my list that I don't have to worry about.
Sign up now for monthly maintenance and get the 12th month free.
Big enough to serve you, small enough to know you.
Personal Touch Lawn Care, 770-908-1238 or online at ptlcatlanta.com.
America, it's time to gear up and get out there in a new Ford vehicle.
And it all starts at your local Ford dealer during the Discover Summer Sales Event. Choose from a great selection of trucks and SUVs equipped with the tech and comfort you need to discover your best summer ever. With a large inventory in stock, now is the best time to trade in, trade up, and discover summer with Ford. Now get 2.9% financing for 60 months plus up to $4,500 cash back on select Ford SUVs. See your local Ford dealer and discover your best summer ever.
The drive for the GHSA state title is presented by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. Transform your future today.
Welcome back, everybody. Beautiful rendition of God Bless America. The Georgia T-shirt, also a nice touch before the cocktail party.
She's a 5-star. I can just tell you right now, she's a 5-star.
Very, very impressive, and a wonderful thing here as we're live at Archer Community Stadium, where Archer trying to get back in it with Grayson here. Third quarter action about to get underway. Brandon Adams, Rusty Mansell. Craig Sager Jr. manning our host position tonight in place of Kaylee Mansell. Will be back with us next week. Of course, Craig also doing his normal duty with the coaches' interviews there during the game, and of course at the game's conclusion there too. So fun cast bringing some high school football tonight here on the Peachtree Sports Network.
Well, we may have to check on young Mansell down at her first Georgia-Florida game. We may have to put a put a text in on that one.
With both of us here, she's totally unsupervised. There's no telling what's going on.
That's a
no telling indeed.
That might be no news is good news for my phone tonight.
Listen, I'm sure she's just sitting in the hotel room watching us right now.
She's got way too much Mansell on her to be sitting in the hotel room in Jacksonville tonight. I can assure you of that.
Looking forward to getting up early in the morning and making my own way over to Jacksonville for that. Of course, Rusty, I know you've been covering it all week long, and a lot of fun to think about, the renewal of this rivalry. It's a game that's really special to me, and obviously high stakes again this year for number 1 ranked Georgia, but hard not to go there and see that and also experience all the history that's taken place in that city between these two teams over the years.
Can't really explain it unless you go. I told Kaylee this is her first time going, and I said, look, it's just you got to go and soak it in and see it. It's unique. You think Texas, Oklahoma, and then you think Georgia, Florida when you think about those type of games and those type of atmospheres, and just always an important game. Seems like the winner of that kind of starts the second half of the season with a lot of momentum every year.
And speaking of that kind of rivalry, you saw the Grayson student a moment ago had the A for Archer kind of X'd out there on the flag. That gives you an idea of the kind of rivalry we have here.
Great crowd, man.
Going to try an onside kick to start it. Football is loose. It's up for grabs, but I believe that Grayson was able to fall on it there. Jackson Gady tried to give his team the chance on the high onside kick.
Number 15, and he's listed at 6'5" for Grayson, and if you watch his arm, the stretch on this one to go get that ball as he's laying on the ground, that's a almost great executed play coming out. Watch the ball bouncing around, and watch 15 just stick his palm out right here. You see that? Just come forward and get that ball.
I don't mind trying that. You need some sort of spark.
Sure.
I think coming out of a timeout, or I should say coming out of the half, it looked like the kick was executed pretty well. It just, as you said, the Grayson player, Dekai Banks, just goes up, makes a good play to get the football.
I believe we've got a player down for Archer. He is 25, I believe, the linebacker. He's coming off the field.
Yeah, that's Devin Donaldson, the cornerback.
And replace him. Like shoulder, maybe just a stinger.
3 receivers on the right side. Davis looks that way, now looking left, and Now going to have to hurry. Gets free, and now he's going to have some room to run. He's inside the 35-yard line where he'll wisely slide in right there. And
he's got some giddy up to him.
He does. And the other thing, Rusty, is we'll see him running here. It's really impressive the maturity he's shown here in his senior year.
Yep.
This is a guy we've seen, a couple of times, and you look at what he's been able to put together this year. He's become a very good quarterback.
I told somebody that today. Been a little sporadic over his career. Look at this.
Look at that throw to the end zone, and it is incomplete.
That was perfect.
Would have been the second touchdown of the night for Cenas, but not quite. And
I believe Cenas had him stacked here. Let's see if you want to lead him just a tad bit more, but see what he does here. We get a replay. You see Cenas is on top of him. He had to slow down just a little bit. There's your look in replay there. Good job by the TV to get a better look at that.
Grayson a little bit more deliberate now offensively than it was in the first half. Davis RPO, pulls it back out, now makes the completion. Ethan Cantris, first catch of the night for the junior.
I tell you what, I watched him in warm-ups, and I had to go find out who he was. He made 2 one-handed catches in the back of the end zone, and he's a name to know for next year.
Looking at a 3rd and 3 here right now. Handoff to Elder. Elder's got a long touchdown already tonight, and he's got a first down for Grayson right there. So when you try the roll of the dice with the onside kick and you don't get it, you set up Grayson for the short field.
You
but
do. You got to. You got to take
I think
shots.
the risk was worth the reward. I do.
You got to steal possessions, man.
Another fake handoff by Davis. Pressure coming his way again. Now he's going to take off and run again. Took a big hit. And the helmet came off. That's a really big hit by Amari Jones, who's had a couple of those already tonight.
You see, Davis is fine, but I'm going to tell you, this will be all over. This might make some, what a perfect tackle.
So no problem with the physicality from either side here tonight.
No, and number 2 certainly will stick his face up in there. We've seen that 2 or 3 times tonight out of that senior defensive back, number 2. They got man-to-man coverage at the bottom.
New quarterback, by the way, has come into the game for Grayson on the basis of the helmet coming off.
Yeah, that's the big. I've watched him in warm-ups too. Big 6'5" sophomore, Travis Burgess. Davis took a pop now and didn't phase it. Knocked his helmet off, came right back in and got his play.
And to back up what we were saying a moment ago about what he's been doing this year, how about 72% completion percentage, as you say, he's Tavius Bryant. 22 touchdowns, just 1 interception coming into tonight.
There's the play I thought we were going to run a while ago. And
yeah.
Just a short route there to Sanchez.
Yeah, and Larry Joseph had the coverage.
Yeah, you want to throw that one to the back. They had man-to-man coverage to play before, didn't do it. They come right back to it again this time, and you got to throw that one on. You got to throw that one to the back pylon, not short. Receiver unable. I like the no call there.
Yeah.
Ball was completely underthrown.
It's going to send on a field goal try here now for Grayson. Going to be a 38-yard attempt here. Try to add to the lead. The kick is away. Short. It's going to be short.
Yep. Good hold there.
So not able to connect in with that time. That's going to make it score remain 28-7. Of course, while we have a moment, we'll give you our Breda pest management update here there too, because nobody wants unwanted guests taking up residence in their homes. We're not talking about your in-laws, we're talking about critters. So when it comes to keeping critters out of your house, there's just one company to call. It's Breda Pest Management. We certainly appreciate Breda Pest Management for its dedication to Georgia high school football. So score remains 28-7 as the 38-yard field goal attempt falls short. And so Archer's risk of the onside kick to begin the game doesn't result in any kind of punishment, and we see William Wallace staying in at the quarterback position. So Jordan Doe, the starting quarterback for the team, and the starting quarterback, obviously to begin the game, left with what looked like a lower leg injury. I don't want to say ankle for sure because obviously I don't know, but it seemed to be like a lower leg type issue there, and obviously throughout the half, not able to kind of get him ready to come back in. So Wallace stays in, and Wallace has played some quarterback this year.
He's back. There's Doe.
Okay, yeah, so Doe is back in the game now. So Wallace took the first snap, and then Doe comes back in on the second snap.
Come back basically with quarterback power.
So now you're looking at third down.
Want to keep your eye on the Breda Pest Management score ticker at the bottom. Some of these games, you're going to start seeing some region championships clinched. Obviously, a couple of the big games, which is important to this region, will be the Colquitt-Valdosta game. I think Colquitt's comfortably ahead. Central Carrollton, Northwest Whitfield. That looks like that is a region championship type game as well, I believe.
3rd and 1, direct snap, and it's going to be short. McRae, the running back. It's the same play they ran to begin the game. And you go direct snap there for the extra blocker, right? And just can't quite get anything with that defensive front of Grayson right now.
Can't reestablish line of scrimmage, can't get them off the ball, standing their offensive line up, nowhere for them to run.
How about Rabun County on top of Commerce right now?
I tell you what, Commerce has had a tremendous season. They've got a young, I believe it's 2025 running back that can absolutely fly.
Earlier this year, Rabun had a 50-game region winning streak snapped at the hands of Elbert County.
Elbert County.
But tonight, I guess, could be back in a position to actually win the region and keep that long streak of region titles alive here.
I tell you what, that region is facing. That region's facing number 2, potentially at Prince Avenue round 2.
How about that?
So you don't want to be number 2 in that region.
Win the region if you can there.
Yes.
Okay, so Grayson gets it back after the punt. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll show you the Rams on offense here in the third quarter right after that.
Oh, yeah, dude, that doesn't look good. I know what to do. I'm going to cashnetusa.com. I can apply in minutes, and if approved, I can have the money as soon as the same business day.
Go to cashnetusa.com to apply for the money you need.
Okay, girls.
Some have said that rallying middle schoolers is a lot like herding cats. To the moms and dads out there who control the chaos and make herding cats look more like corralling kittens, we at Ingles tip our hats. Ingles, all the ingredients for family.
This is a Peachtree Sports Network weather update, powered by Atlanta News First.
Hope you're having a great Friday. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Valdez with your Peachtree Sports Network weather update. We'll keep it dry through the evening. If you have plans tonight, it will be mild. Can't rule out a stray little sprinkle along the coast, but for the most part, the dry weather we've seen all week will continue. And we're going to see a ton of sunshine as you wake up tomorrow morning, with lots of sunshine through the entire weekend. Not only will we see lots of sunshine, we'll see above average temperatures. For tonight, temperatures a good 10+ degrees warmer than what we typically see this time of year, mainly in the 50s and 60s. And then it will get even warmer as we start off the weekend on Saturday. High temperatures in the 80s across the entire state of Georgia. So it will be warm, it will be sunny, and it will be gorgeous on this last weekend of October. Hopefully you have some amazing and fun weekend plans.
The GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com drive for the GHSA state title is sponsored by the Mechanical Trades Institute, the best kept secret everyone should know about. Smart Local 85, sheet metal is a smart move. Gatorade, fuel tomorrow. The Georgia Sheet Metal and Air Conditioning Contractors Association, careersinsheetmetal.com, building a solid future. The Atlanta Falcons, rise up Dirty Birds. And by the Gwinnett County Sheriff's Office. Together, we can make a difference.
Welcome back, and on first down, big throw by Davis. Trying to connect, but not able to bring it down was Alexander Sanchez. So we come right back from a commercial break into action.
That was a haymaker. He turns this one loose. Just still, again, just a tad bit behind there on that throw. Just a little too much air under it. That's being picky, but it's kind of the difference in those chunk explosive plays.
Elijah Miller on the carry now. Of course, Davis, who Rusty was talking about, he's got offers from the likes of FAU, Florida Atlantic, Western Michigan.
He's really come on as a quarterback.
Stands with time in the pocket. Now has to hurry a little bit. Goes out of bounds right there near the 49.
One thing I'm starting to notice, Brandon, and we're at that point of the game where the Archer defense has been on the field a good bit, and their defensive front is getting a little bit winded. Not getting as much pressure with that three-man front. Need some first downs, need the ball moved to kind of keep them off the field, let them rest up a little bit.
Let's see if Stafford gets a chance to
have
a punt return here. Has to call the fair catch. Yeah, I mean, keep it in mind, you know, you begin the third quarter with a 3-touchdown deficit. We're halfway home in the third quarter, and that lead hasn't changed at all yet. So that's perhaps a bit of a positive here for Archer. While we have a moment, let's also talk about the Atlanta Falcons and group ticket packages that are available right now for Falcons home games. You can learn more about the options for youth sports teams, client hosting events, and more by checking out atlantafalcons.com/tickets.
What is Falcons football? It's Grady putting quarterbacks on notice. It's Kyle shredding defenses like a unicorn. It's Tyler breaking tackles like phone screens. It's AJ locking down anyone on his island. It's Drake touching the sun. It's ZP breaking another record. What is Falcons football? It's all you dirty birds. Rise up.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Live action here. Running play on first down for Archer.
We have a sideline warning on the white team.
You don't talk about a nervous crowd in South Georgia right now. Lee County 24, Thomas County Central 24. You think there's some fingernails getting chewed on down there right now?
Earlier, you know, TCC got a pretty big lead on Lee County. Lee County has marched back to tie that game.
Yep, that's a region championship game as well.
We saw Lee County earlier this year. Very impressed with them. And, of course, the job that Justin Rogers is doing at Thomas County Central, among the most improved teams in the state in their own right. And, boy, you talk about, I mean, just flying to the football as they've done all night long. Nice job there by David Moncrief, senior linebacker.
They're so fast, man. Watch 16 and 12. Watch 16 come inside out, and you see him. He's going to cut it off if 12 don't get it.
Yeah.
It's hard to have any type of success running sideline to sideline against someone like Grayson.
Talk about number 16, that's obviously Tyler Atkinson, the sophomore linebacker. One of the things you love about him is, as you see Cass up big on Calhoun right now, 24-7.
That would knock Calhoun out of the playoffs for the first time since 1999.
Doe to throw, going to keep it now and running. He's going to find some room. This has worked tonight. He had a long rushing touchdown earlier, and the football come out. He got the ball almost to midfield, but they're going to say, yeah, he's got a Grayson football. So he had a nice gain, was going to get it near midfield, but lost the football, and that's going to become a turnover for Grayson.
Man, it's been the story of the night for Archer. Big play turnovers.
There have been a lot of them.
That would be 4 turnovers, and see what happens right here. Look at that. You see what Tyler Atkinson just did?
Yeah, on the offense, that penalty is declined. First down.
Reached in there and got it.
You want to watch somebody picture perfect punch a football out. And you want to watch why I've been talking about him all night. Watch 16 right here. Watch him knock this ball out on purpose. Look, right here with his right arm. Bam. That is absolutely picture perfect by one of the best football players
it takes
in the state.
Vision. It takes quickness.
Athleticism. Because if I try to punt something at full speed, it's going to be a bad issue for my shoulder.
I'm going to be taking a tumble is what's going to happen if I try to do that.
Unbelievable play by Atkinson.
Davis pulls it out and throws it. That's a pass complete to Cenas. Cenas inside the 30, all the way down to around the 21-yard line.
You can just kind of feel it now, man. Grayson's rolling. Got all the momentum on their sideline. Davis is dialed in. These receivers are making plays. They're going fast. NASCAR again.
27 yards on the reception there. Handoff goes to Elder. Elder tries the left side.
Tell you what, he won't
down to about the 10.
He won't get mentioned there, but John Cena's blocking. Watch 19 at the top. Watch him turn over and block for his guy there. Give him a little bit. Those little things like that, Brandon, are what separates these big boy teams.
We're in the red zone, presented by Georgia Construction, Careers.com. Handoff now coming right side into the end zone for a touchdown is Dylan Elder.
Number 3, Dylan Elder on the carry.
Second touchdown of the night for Elder.
That's what a good team does to you. They punish you for a turnover, and it was a created turnover by Tyler Atkinson, who gave Grayson back the ball.
You know, you're kind of veering into that territory of Grayson making, you know, not just a move towards their own hopes for winning a region title, but also a little bit of a statement for what kind of team they're going to be in the 7A playoffs.
They call that getting right at the right time.
It starts to feel that way.
And you kind of mentioned it, man. That little buzz they had walking around the field, they had a little different carry to them on pregame. They got embarrassed. They got flat out whipped and embarrassed the first game of the year.
And they are clearly a different football team than that right now, because they are very impressive on the road in a rivalry game with high stakes. Rams have looked good here tonight.
What's so great about being a Kroger Boost member? Free delivery on the Kroger products you love, and more rewards too, like double fuel points on everything you buy. Experience a new level of membership, starting as low as $59 a year with Boost by Kroger Plus. Learn more at Kroger.com today.
Are you ready to serve and protect the citizens of Gwinnett County? The Gwinnett County Sheriff's Office offers a range of career paths, starting from entry-level jailer to jailer officer lieutenant. Take advantage of our sign-on bonus up to $4,700 and become a guardian of your community today. Explore the possibilities for a brighter future by visiting GoGCSO.com and pave the way for your career advancement. Go GCSO.
America, come along with our adventure seekers, the Sanchez family, and discover summer with the Ford F-150. See how available features like Pro Trailer Backup Assist make backing up as easy as turning a knob. Watch as Pro Power on board lights up the night. And Ford Blue Cruise makes driving even more fun. Now get select Ford F-150 trucks with 3.9% financing for 60 months, plus get up to $1,500 cash back with your trade-in, only at your local Ford dealer.
You see our score 35-7. Grayson on top of Archer. Brandon Adams, Rusty Manziel, our drive for the GHSA state title. And of course our Breda Pass Management scoring summer. You saw that there too. And you see the kickoff from Grayson as well. Stafford getting a chance to return this up to the 30-yard line. But decent field position, no small consolation right now, just given the 4-touchdown deficit that Archer is facing here.
I'm going to give a lot of credit to Grayson because they have really seized the moment when they've had an opportunity. But I'm going to speak from the Archer side. They're going to write about 7 plays on the board, and they're going to show this football team those 6 or 7 plays, and 5 of them being turnovers, and go, this is exactly what happens when you play a team like this and you give them extra chances.
Well, you're also talking about a team in Archer that's got such a huge number of sophomores starting. You see William Wallace once again back in at quarterback after seemed like Doe was a little slow to get up after the previous play in which the Atkinson fumble forced eventually resulted in a touchdown. This is a young Archer team, and already a kind of a dramatic turnaround for them. 5-3 coming into tonight, 3-0, having the chance to win this game and win the region. And that just speaks to, for a team that won 2 games a year ago, that's a remarkable about face. That is a pass caught by Wallace. That's Doe back in at quarterback, throwing to Wallace. And this has kind of been what it's been a little bit this year. Wallace, he's a quarterback, and he's a receiver again. He's also carried the ball a few times. A really interesting player. At the end of his season, he's going to graduate. He's going to be a 4-year letterman in both football and baseball.
Love that. Love it.
A team captain level player.
I'm a Braveheart guy, so I love the name. I mean,
no doubt about that. Stafford.
This is the next one here at Archer. He's got something. He's got some different juice to him.
Yeah, the sophomore who just caught it, really good numbers coming into tonight. 66 catches, 636 yards, 6 touchdowns. So they found a way to get him involved, make him productive, and you think, okay, well, that's what you kind of build on going forward. Because, by the way, Jordan Doe's just a sophomore, too.
Yeah, they've got some young talent here. And
setting up Alexander.
They're going quick game. A lot of quick game, trying to negate that defensive front for Grayson. Get your quarterback some throws here, a little bit of confidence, get up the field.
This is also kind of what you see teams doing at the college level to Georgia.
Oh, goodness. Because you don't want to mess with that box.
Right.
Especially 21 and 22 teams.
Yeah, no one's just going to stand there and let you maul them.
No.
They're going to try to do something to mitigate against that little flea flicker type play. Doe's going to look end zone, and it's there.
Great call.
Colby Alexander catches it, and that's a highlight play for the Archer fans to enjoy.
Great play call there.
Doe to Alexander. Yeah, so not only was it a flea flicker, it was a reverse back to the flea flicker. McCray to Stafford, Stafford back to Doe. Doe, the strike to Alexander.
Quick answer there by Archer. Great play call, love that. Love the 2 plays before. Just get your quarterback a couple throws, give him a little bit of confidence.
And when you talk about building a program, as Andrew Rogers, the freshman kicker, comes on, tries the PAT, it's easy to build it around fun. And when you're kind of designing plays like that and you're doing things like that, it's the kind of program that people kind of want to be a part of. That building and winning culture means finding a way to make it fun, and plays like that certainly give you a chance to do that. So Archer kind of cuts into the lead, and while that'll give us a moment to talk about Georgia's Rome inviting you to the, is it
Chiaha?
Chiaha, there you go. Last week you gave me that one, and I was hoping to be able to come back and nail it.
Man.
Chiaha Harvest Festival. It's October 28th and 29th. It's a toe tapping, cider sipping, fun event for everyone. Arts Festival. It's the fall festival that's held at the Coosa Valley Fairgrounds. You can plan your fun and get event details at romeevents.org. That's romeevents.org.
And what will many consider an upset, Bleckley County beats Swainsboro 21-20. Now Bleckley ends up being the region champs.
So first loss of the year for Swainsboro, right?
It is.
Obviously, Georgia commit DeMello Jones, part of that Swainsboro team. Yeah, it is a surprising result.
Von Lassiter still winning games there.
Something to see. Commerce has, by the way, tied it up with Rabun County here. Over the shoulder catch inside the 10-yard line. Elder now going to cut back on the right side. Gets up to the 40-yard line on that kick return. Leading by 3 scores with the football. Here comes Grayson on offense again. And flag down, by the way.
During the return, we have holding on the return team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
I don't care what level of football you're watching, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, when the kick returner changes directions, that usually results in somebody doing something they're not supposed to do.
Especially in high school.
There's going to be a block in the back. There's going to be a hold. It is really, really hard to do that, as Richmond Hill in Region 1 7A still on top of Lowndes and really extending that lead. Could be a rare playoff miss for the Vikings. Scoring summary presented by Breda Pest Management. 4 plays, 47 yards. Minute 14 of clock time. And Marietta is winning against Harrison here right now, 28-13. There's your handoff to Elijah Miller as we're about to go into 3 minutes here in our third quarter. Walton gets a 35-0 win against Osborne. So Osborne loses last week, and then obviously no one's had the formula for Walton for the most part here this year. Davis taking his time now. Going to throw left side. And the Archer defense is right there swarming to that football. Whole host of Tigers in on that, including Russell Richmond, the defensive back, and Amari Jones as well.
Talked about Walton. May have mentioned it, may have not mentioned it. Could be a potential third round of Walton and Carrollton rematch from last year.
That'd really be something.
You think that would be a
high-powered
third
offenses, a lot of energy in that one as Grayson looks at the third down here, going to dump it off. Pass, caught. Did he stay in bounds? How about that? Still on his feet. Aiden Taylor. It's almost like a flag football type move. The elusiveness and just would not be touched. And Taylor's now a little, both guys over there a little slow to get up. Taylor now does get up. The Archer player still being tended to. Looks like he's going to get up there as well. So good to see that. And it also gives us a chance to check in on our 2023 Georgia Elite Classic recruiting report presented by Dog Nation.
Got a bunch of invites out. We even did our first. You'll see some guys here. Jack Stanton earned that from last week.
I was really impressed with him.
I was impressed with him.
Really impressed with him.
Really impressed with him. And Kamari Farmer, look at the sophomore running back at Carrollton, Langston Hoggs, a kid we've been very familiar with. And Davis Monkus out of Troup County. He was the 8th grade MVP last year and really doing a good job for Tanner Glisson and those guys. And let me give you a name, Christian Webb Scott. I know this is going to shock you. He's at Buford.
Okay.
And he's a 6'5", 8th grade defensive end. That's just going to shock you there. So we'll have our first 7th grade invites. We're doing a 7th grade game this year and kind of.
How about 3 straight catches for Kylan Fox, already 2 touchdowns in the night and being fed here. And how about some 7th grade offers going out?
And crazy as it sounds, we just want to kind of introduce these young men into an all-star setting. I guess I really don't cover 7th graders, but I get 1,000 texts about this young man right here, Gavin Hollum at Prince Avenue, and I know that's going to shock you. Prince Avenue's got a quarterback.
Another quarterback, wow.
John Ricks, his quarterback coach, and everybody in that northeast Georgia corner, everybody talks about. I've seen him before, but he can spin it, and we'll have him be 7th graders. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring them up, and they're going to practice 2 days, and we're going to put them on TV, kind of introduce them a little bit into this setting and playing with kids around the state. And it's been a huge turnout so far, and we got a lot of spots left in that. So people ask me all day today, how do we get in the game? You have to fill out a nomination, and you can go to scoreatlanta.com and georgiaeliteclassic.com, and the nomination form is there, and we will do invites for the next 4 weeks. And those games will be on TV December 29th in Rome.
When you talk about a promising prospect at quarterback, is, by the way, speaking of that, Davis running the ball there. And once again, Archer meets the moment. How much is a middle school quarterback throwing during a regular middle school game?
You would be shocked. You would be shocked. The offense is, listen, I don't want to put too much on a 7th grader. That's not really what we're doing. We're trying to introduce them.
Sure, yeah.
But I can tell you this, that everybody I talk to in Northeast Georgia kind of early on says this guy can spin it. This kid, I've watched him throw in a workout with some other guys. John Rick invited me over one day, and I watched those guys throw. But you would be surprised at what they're doing now in middle school as opposed to what we were used to.
Davis will throw. Reginald Watkins was the intended receiver. Incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down. Of course, you mentioned John Rick. That's the son of Mark Rick, who is the offensive coordinator there with Prince Avenue. Of course, Greg Vandegrift, the very successful longtime head coach there.
Greg Vandegrift texted me this morning. His daughter is playing. She is an Alabama commit in softball. She's playing down in Columbus for Prince Avenue Christian, and she just hit her 20th home run today.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That mother must be the best athlete in the galaxy, is all I can say. So Greg Vandergrift's wife has really got some athleticism in her, I can say that.
Oh, that's funny. Kick going to bounce and then be fielded. How about that? Nice job on special teams by Grayson to get there and drop that one inside the 1-yard line. It was Dekai Banks, who's had a nice night on special teams. He's had a few things tonight on special teams, and he just got in there and dropped that football inside the 1. So long field here for Archer with under a minute to go in the third quarter.
Want to kind of capitalize on what you did last time, getting the ball out in space. Trick play. Known Coach Williams a long time, man. Knew him at Grayson, and it's really, you don't want to use coach terms. It is a process, and he really came to Archer. He thought this community, the tradition here, and I loved what he said last year. I think you and I both talked to him. He said, listen, the foundation has been laid there.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? This is a great, I don't want to mess it up.
I
got to put my touches on it, but the foundation from Archer has been laid.
Well, when he was an assistant at Grayson, obviously Grayson and Archer are big rivals. We've talked about that already tonight. So you look across the field and you say, what, if that Archer job ever came open, that might be something.
Andy Dyer, he's a great coach. Now up at Elbert County helping out there. And it seems like everybody retires and goes to the mountains of the lake. And,
it seems like that, right?
And that's kind of where those guys, Shannon Jarvis, the old Mill Creek coach, he is the head coach at Elbert. So they all kind of got the band back together up there in Elbert County.
The Granite Bowl, one of the great
we
venues.
got to do it. We have got to do a game
at
at some point there.
I would love to do it. Maybe they'll have another Nicole Hardman come rolling through here one of these days.
How about his week coming back to the Chiefs? How about a trade for him?
It's funny how you see that in the NFL now. It used to be the idea of a trade deadline and making moves. It just was non-existent. But you see more of that in the NFL now than you used to. And by the way, Lumpkin County continues to have an amazing year. Speaking of the mountains, up there in Dahlonega, Lumpkin County has had quite a year on top of Dawson County here right now. Amazing thing to see for the Indians up there.
Heath Webb, who actually was Christian Conley's coach at North Paul, he's up there doing a good job.
Former Gainesville head coach.
Known Coach Webb a long time. Really
Ball
good
start
guy.
on the offense. Half the distance to the goal. Still be third down.
But we had a chance. You mentioned Dante Williams earlier, the Archer head coach in his second year here. Met him for the first time. It would have been 2 springs ago. We did a Jamboree event.
Yep.
It's always interesting to talk to a first-time head coach because in his particular case, obviously had a plan in place, and he was kind of chomping at the bit to get out there and really put all that in place, and he's taking that very seriously. So it's easy to imagine there is big success coming for them at some point in time. It may not be tonight. It may not be in this race for a region championship here this year, but a lot of success could be on their way.
Especially with this sophomore group they've got.
And speaking of success, it's Grayson enjoying some of that right now. They were up by 3 touchdowns. Coming on the road, looking good in a rivalry game, staying alive for a shot at a region championship there as well. We got fourth quarter action right after this.
From the baseline to the sideline, the best live sports from Atlanta and beyond are on Peachtree Sports Network. The biggest plays, the instant classics, and the next rising stars are right here on Peachtree Sports Network, your home for live local sports.
I'm attorney Ken Nugent. If you've been hurt, call us and tell us your story.
Hi, my name is Nehemiah. An 18-wheeler hit me from the side and drug me a half a mile. I had to have neck surgery with 6 screws placed in my neck. I wanted Ken Nugent, as a big firm like this, to handle my case. But I had no worries. They did everything. When I say everything, they made the phone calls, the bills I needed paid, they did it all. One call, that's all. And that's all I did.
It's the season of back to school, back to work, and back to all the wonderful flavors of fall. At Ingles, we're here to help this fall be the best season of the year. Ingles, we're with you every step of the way.
If you are on the fence about ordering McDonald's, consider this a sign.
Mix and match a double cheeseburger, 6-piece chicken McNuggets, or small fries for just $3.69. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
All right, I'm here with Coach Williams now. Coach, your team has brought the physicality tonight. You're able to cut into this deficit with the big Colby Anderson touchdown. What are you expecting on this drive?
Well, we need to go down and score and just keep battling and, take one play at a time. It's a very talented team, which we knew, so we just got to keep competing.
Awesome. We'll be back for the fourth quarter. Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you, Craig Sager Jr. and Dante Williams, who we were talking about before our break. Spending some time with us right there. Certainly appreciate that. Catch by William Wallace. That gives some room for Archer. Getting out of the shadow of the goal line there and setting up. Doing more than that, also getting a fresh set of downs there, too. So ball sits at the 12. We are underneath 12 in our game. 11:45 to go in our fourth quarter. If they could score quickly here, it could get interesting. That's a strike to Wallace. Wallace took a big hit, but boy, he had him. Wallace took a big hit, and good coverage that time to break that up by Jalen Williams.
It's a great throw into tight coverage. Just unable to bring it in, and good job, Grayson. Perfect timing on hitting him to not let him bring that ball down under control. Jalen Bell, another play.
Yeah, Bell's also the one that has the hit.
LSU commit there. He has gotten a lot bigger.
The situation with LSU and its secondary has gotten a little bit interesting here over the course of this season. You think about that program being DBU, but certainly has not had the look of that this year. That's one of the things that Bell will be going to LSU to try to change. As you see Stafford, they try to get creative in how they get him involved in the offense. But
I'll tell you what, that Alabama LSU game might be 60-59.
Really might be. And, it's interesting. Jaden Daniels, the LSU quarterback, if LSU were to pull the upset, that's a guy that could be in the conversation for the Heisman Trophy. He's had a phenomenal year.
If they win that one, he would have to play great again. And he certainly, look at Colquitt County all over Valdosta. Colquitt's going to finish number 1, and Valdosta will be number 2.
Do you think Colquitt suffers from being undercovered, just given the fact that a lot of the championship contenders here in the metro Atlanta area, Colquitt's down there in the southwest corner of the state? Because think about what Nico Fan's doing at quarterback, what obviously that offense is capable of doing.
Landon Thomas.
Yeah.
That whole crew, Nycar. The thing that makes it tough with Colquitt is you have to go down there and you have to get in the hog pen.
It's not an easy place to win.
Let me tell you something. You get in a hog pen on a Friday night in South Georgia.
Not an easy place to win.
They're not welcoming you, and you pull in the parking lot and there's about 40 RVs waiting on you, and people are tailgating, oh, by the way, around lunch on Friday.
Yeah, that's man, it's a great scene. Great scene. State playoff's going to be really fun.
I'm telling you, the 6A and 7A bracket is going to be as fun as we've had in the last couple of years, I believe.
You see Jackson Gady ready to kick it back to Aiden Taylor here. It looks like Grayson may have jumped. That's not going to change the scenario. It'll still be 4th down. We'll make this our Gordo's cheese dip, cheesy play of the game. A little bit of a
I like that, how they all went down quickly.
Yeah. Officials are talking about it, but they're not.
Potential false start here as I speak with a.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe not quite getting set there.
Encroachment on the defense. 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
So, by the way, we talked earlier when Dalton was leading against Cartersville. Cartersville has now gone on to win that game 42-21. A remarkable coaching job for Connor Foster, who, by the way, his Purple Hurricanes team was at our Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame induction ceremony last week. They go out there, they run their record at 10-0 and get the region championship here.
I tell you, man, I've spent a lot of time around him, and he's just – the dude just loves it, man. You can just tell. Brought his kids down. They sat there for 3 hours. Barely even knew they were there until Keith Henderson and Ronnie Brown, they got up. But you know, Connor came up, and as we're going over the plaques and looking at all the names, and he didn't just look at Keith Henderson, and he just didn't look at Ronnie Brown. Like, he was going like, look at all these guys, look at this guy. He was like me, like, this guy's here and this guy's here. And, oh, by the way, I want to mention 2 people that came, and they sit there, and both of those gentlemen went in last year, but Champ Bailey and Takeo Spikes sit there the entire night and watched every one of those guys get inducted.
Really wonderful.
You're talking about 2 people that understand where they came from and who they are.
Chance for us to watch J.D. Davis again on offense. Going to be a handoff. It's really, we talked earlier about the growth and maturity of Davis, but it's really that growth that I think kind of makes Grayson a different team in this year's playoffs than they've been the last couple of years.
Correct.
You know, some in 2021, I think they were still trying to figure out the quarterback position. You know, obviously Davis kind of comes to his own a little bit last year, but this is a real difference maker quarterback right now.
And he can hurt you with his legs.
Going to show you some of that mobility right now, buying himself time to throw, coming back for the football, trying to make the catch with Cenas. And it is...
They're going to give it to him.
They're going to give it to him, yeah, completion.
Cenas had a really good night.
Let's watch him come back and get this one.
Good job coming back. Your quarterback still. Great job by Davis. Good job there by the ref. You see him leaning over to make sure he didn't trap it, and by his view, he gave it to him.
Cenas, a 3-star recruit, got 14 offers. Big guy standing next to him earlier. Really kind of impressed with that. Running play, handoff. Touchdown. Elijah Miller. Grayson extends the lead.
Good job blocking, and when nobody touches you until about 11 or 12 yards, everybody's doing their job.
That's right.
Oh, no. Oh, no. You can't drop him on the track.
That's about the only thing Grayson's done wrong all night long.
Man, that hurt me.
That's about the only thing Grayson's done all night long.
Man, I hope that doesn't go viral. For
quite right.
That one, that might make the old.
So it looked like.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
It's gotten sloppy quick.
Was that
That's dead.
Was that an attempt?
That was an attempt to raise. You know how they raise them up?
Yeah. Well, no, I mean on the 2-point conversion, was that the attempt or was that a mishandled snap?
Mishandled snap,
yeah.
And then he got up. Yeah, the fire call where everybody runs their routes.
So trying to make the most of that situation, and then prior to that, Elijah Miller got dropped on the track. So
my goodness.
Grayson wants to erase the last 10, 15 seconds here, but they got the lead, and that's all that matters here on Friday night.
Dang, where you get this car?
You need to join the union.
The union?
Absolutely. You can get 10 of these.
Union construction workers earn the highest wages with the best benefits and the most protection in the construction industry. Find your career in construction. Go to GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com and start your future today.
Hendrick.
Drive now, pay later. Shop HendrickCars.com this month and make no payments for 90 days. Over 20,000 new and pre-owned vehicles. No payments for 90 days. Visit HendrickCars.com.
My marriage kind of took a different path. He told me he was not moving back into the home. My biggest fear was the unknown. What would happen with the children and myself? What would happen with the house? I found Merriweather and Tharp. They told me that they would walk me through this divorce, and they did that tenfold. You need an attorney. You need the best attorney, and that's going to be Merriweather and Tharp.
Great teams are committed, focused on the details, and work hard to be their best. From practice to games, right down to their gear. Your field is a critical part of the game that allows your athletes to showcase their abilities. Sports Turf is committed to bringing your team innovative sports surfaces with unparalleled performance. You bring the vision, our team brings it to life.
And we are back. It's Grayson 41-14 over Archer here right now. 9:35 to go, fourth quarter of play. Grayson just scoring on Elijah Miller touchdown a moment ago. Stafford will try to get the return game going for the Tigers. And of course, for Grayson next week, they're looking at a situation. Rusty, remind us here about what it's looking like now for Grayson's chances of winning this region.
So Grayson will go, oh, by the way, talking about the SEC, Grayson will now play Parkview.
Wow.
And if they win that game, they are the region champs.
We got a kick out of bounds on the kicking team. The ball will be placed at the 35-yard line, first down.
If they lose that game, there is still potential that they will be the number 3 seed and likely go to Valdosta in 2 weeks.
So high stakes for that game.
Just let me throw a couple scenarios
next week,
because I embarrassingly got deep into the brackets the other night. So let me give you this scenario after this play.
See the handoff go in the way of Emmanuel McCray.
If you are Grayson and if you are the number 3 seed, you will load the buses to go to Valdosta to play there. If you were to win that game, you are most likely going to Carrollton the next week.
Wow.
So you would go back to back to back, Parkview at Valdosta at Carrollton.
I mean, you can make a case that, theoretically speaking, what you do in that kind of final moment of the regular season is almost more important than the early rounds of the postseason, because of just your chances of winning are so much more enhanced if you're able to play a game at home, or if you're at least able to avoid those 2 just
on the
very challenging road trips.
I mean, Middle Tennessee State doesn't want to go to at Valdosta at Carrollton, much less a high school team. You know what I mean?
I think that is quite fair.
So you don't want to put that on your kids. You know, we got to do this, we got to do that. But you know, as a staff, how important that game is next week for Grayson to not have to face down that gauntlet. And whoever the number 3 seed from this region is going to most likely face that path.
This is also a Parkview team that, if you follow Georgia high school football, has battled some injuries here this year. Boy, flying in there, making another play. Man. David Moncrief, the linebacker.
He is not the biggest dude, but man, he has played. He's played fantastic.
And interestingly, you know, on a Grayson defense that has so many college prospects, you know, Moncrief not really one of those names that necessarily leaps off in terms of the offers and things like that. So
tape like this will help him.
Yeah, a TV broadcast, a terrific showcase for him there.
Physicality. Question is, what is he? They list him at 6 foot 190. So he's not an outside backer. He may be a nickel. Is he a inside backer? But
you see Doe cranking up to throw. That's going to be a wonderful catch. William Wallace gets down there and makes a terrific catch. It looks like got a little banged up on that shoulder there. Yeah.
Great catch, though, man.
But a really good catch from a guy who's had a terrific season.
Man, what a throw and catch.
Yeah, Doe has a real ability to deliver the football.
Yep. Again, he's a sophomore. We saw Davis go through this.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
that's right.
There's the growing pains and the progressions and maturity and experience, and you know, his skill set with his legs.
You see Archer not in too big of a hurry here right now, trying to make sure they get the play right. Faking the handoff. Doe looking to try to buy some time. Pressure's going to come, and Kale Ikepachukwu is there to make a tackle. Now, Doe's going to be a little slow to get up. He's hobbling there, too.
He's been banged up a little bit tonight.
So keep your eye on that. Obviously, Wallace, who has played some at quarterback, has also left the game with injury. So all of a sudden, Archer a little worse for the wear when it comes to the injury situation, as we have a final now with Rabun County down there in the single A private classification, or not private, single A Division I classification, getting a win over Commerce there. So Rabun County continues its streak of region championships.
I am seeing a different score on Twitter.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
We're seeing Commerce 23, Rabun County 17 in overtime.
All right, so if that be the case.
We got to double check our both of these.
Yeah, we'll double check that because that's a very important score.
Yep.
Doe gonna roll right, trying to direct traffic, look for an open man. That man never came open. Andre Fuller there in on the stop. Flag comes in here late.
So Thomas County Central defeats Lee County 31-24.
What a season for Justin Rogers' team down there.
So that means that Thomas County Central will be the 1, Lee County will be the 2, Houston County will be the 3.
We got a dead ball, personal foul on the defense. Half the distance to the goal. It'll be 4th down.
And of course, a year ago, Houston County is a 4 seed, went on a nice run during the playoffs.
We've seen it now. I'm telling you, that region right there is not one you want to be squared up with.
You
even
do not.
in round 1,
You do
round
not.
2, any of that.
You see Doe's going to have to be helped off here. Looked like they were tending to his arm there. Make this our injury report presented by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety. So both of the Archer quarterbacks going to be tended to for injury. And you're thinking about this now for both the short term and the long term, as in,
Yeah, they're
next
definitely.
week.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to. Archer's trying to finish off next week, and I don't know all the scenarios, but this could be one of those where Archer ends up with that 3 path.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this, Dante Williams, if you told him at the first of the year, Coach, you're going to be in the playoffs, you're going about us, he'd say, let's load the buses. Let's load the buses, and what time are we playing?
And by the way, Jordan Doe's had such a courageous night tonight, coming back from injury, fighting through injury perhaps here this evening, and now maybe going back in the football game there, or no, going to the huddle at least.
Unless they called it. It was Dante Williams talking to them. If he called a timeout, could he come back in?
Okay.
That may have been what he was saying.
What that was, yeah.
If I call a timeout and an injury, can that player go back in?
Rusty's going to try to figure this out over on the side here.
We're all discussing that.
And we'll see the class from the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame, the second class. The induction ceremony this past Saturday. What a thing that was to see.
Wow, man.
Mike Bobo, the Georgia offensive coordinator, on hand. Former Georgia coach Ray Goff on hand. Deion Grant, the Tennessee Ball on hand.
I tell you what, when DJ Shockley come up and Mike Bobo was sitting in the front row, he was sobbing. And that tells you how much. You see Marcus Stroud in the right corner there.
Yep.
See those guys. See
Charles Grant walking in. Yeah, I thought some of the stuff that Charles
fantastic.
Grant said was just some of the best stuff of the night there.
Buzzy Rosenberg.
Yeah, what a fun moment that was for him. 70-plus years of age, getting down doing some push-ups, almost like Jack Palance in the Academy Awards.
My man won American Gladiator.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Wow.
You learn so much about so many of these, former players in a situation like this. Going to run a direct snap, and then you're going to pitch the reverse top play. Now you're going to do almost like a Philly special type thing.
They tried it, yep.
So McRae, the running back, took the direct snap, then kind of pitched it on a reverse to Stafford. Stafford then tried to throw it to the end zone, but ultimately it's incomplete. So Dante Williams still in his bag here, but facing a pretty big deficit. It's been all Grayson here for the most part on the Peachtree Sports Network.
Okay, girls, it's about that time.
Some have said that rallying middle schoolers is a lot like herding cats. Obviously, those folks never saw a cat herder juggle catching the bus with science projects, soccer practice, violin lessons, and making lunch. To the moms and dads out there who control the chaos, win the day, and make herding cats look more like corralling kittens,
Okay, girls, we're out of here.
we at Ingalls tip our hats. Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
This is a Peachtree Sports Network weather update powered by Atlanta News First.
Hope you're having a great Friday. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Valdez with your Peachtree Sports Network weather update. We'll keep it dry through the evening. If you have plans tonight, it will be mild. Can't rule out a stray little sprinkle along the coast, but for the most part, the dry weather we've seen all week will continue. And we're going to see a ton of sunshine as you wake up tomorrow morning, with lots of sunshine through the entire weekend. Not only will we see lots of sunshine, we'll see above average temperatures. For tonight, temperatures a good 10+ degrees warmer than what we typically see this time of year, mainly in the 50s and 60s. And then it will get even warmer as we start off the weekend. On Saturday, high temperatures in the 80s across the entire state of Georgia. So it will be warm, it will be sunny, and it will be gorgeous on this last weekend of October. Hopefully you have some amazing and fun weekend plans.
The GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com drive for the GHSA state title is sponsored by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 613. Electrify your career. Gordo's, Fiesta every day. Personal touch lawn care. The smallest details make the biggest difference. Merriweather and Tharp. Merriweather and Tharp LLC. The AtlantaDivorceTeam.com. R.S. Andrews. Story after story, we deliver smiles. And by Greta Pest Management, the official pest control of Atlanta.
And we are back. 41-14 is our score. You see the student section still having a good time.
Everybody hydrating.
That's the Grayson side.
Late one.
Running play on first down, and Elder getting through again. And now he's going to be a little slow to get up. He's already had a terrific night, but I didn't see what happened.
The only thing I saw at the end of that play was the Archer defender kind of did the same thing as Tyler Atkinson, tried to punch the ball out. I don't know that. Let's see at the end. Watch the defender here come up and try to punch the ball out. I'm not sure. See this? And that's that tackle where you cut that call it a hip tackle. You know what I mean? So you can't. It's kind of something the NFL is looking at, kind of doing away with. I'm not sure it's going to happen, but he's up.
Looks like Elder's okay, which is good. I mean, look, here's my thing about that. And listen, when it comes to a great player like Elder or any running back or any ball carrier or anybody that touches the football, I don't want anybody to get hurt. Yep. But at a certain point in time, what's the defense supposed to do?
That's what I heard. An NFL player say, are we just going to go ahead and go flag football?
Because you and I say it all the time that when it comes to high school level, if there's any doubt, you're going to veer in the direction of player safety. And I think for the most part, we're kind of okay with that. But some of the stuff you see in the NFL right now, which is, you know, the roughing the passer calls, where if you're a defensive player, you're not allowed, obviously, you know, to take out the knees, but you're not allowed to go above the shoulder. And now, you know, even some, you know, stuff around the waist, you're not allowed to do that anymore either. I mean, you're just, and some of these penalties, Rusty, are game-changing pass interference penalties.
No doubt.
And some of that's even creeping down to the college level, too.
No doubt.
And, you know, neither one of us want to go back to the days of, like, remember Chuck Cecil from the Cardinals.
Well, that's why the quarterbacks are playing to their late 30s now. I mean, Joe Montana and John Elway and those guys, I mean, Dan Marino took all those shots. Those guys were unable. There was no protection for them.
And, you know, I'll tell you, you know, people talk about the brotherly shove to play the Philadelphia Eagles, like the Roman Jalen Hurts. And, you know, the tush push, should that be outlawed? And some people say, well, you got to try to stop it. But the problem is kind of like the brute physicality that would potentially stop something like that is being legislated out of the game. Yeah. So, you know, when you tell the defense they can't do anything, and then it just makes the game easier and easier for the offense here, as we'll show you our game's key defensive stop, presented by the Gwinnett County Sheriff's Office. You see the big hit right there on Davis. Thankfully, he was okay after that.
But I mean, that play right there would cost you $200,000 in NFL.
Yeah, Mari Jones had a nice big hit.
And that was a picture-perfect tackle. Davis was okay. He did not get around the head. He was in the chest area.
It's just football. It's just football.
It's a physical sport, and that's just the bottom line. And
what does he like to say? Soccer sign-ups?
That's a soccer increased soccer sign-ups right there. Seen a few of those tonight.
Third down, Elder back in and carrying the ball, and he's going to not get much. So fourth down coming up, 3:45 coming up on that here in our game. Of course, we'll get a chance to hear from Santavius Bryant, the winning coach, here coming up in a moment, just 29 years old. Our friends at Georgia Public Broadcasting had a good note, and I noticed this as well in a game they did earlier this year involving Bryant. You know, if you Google search him, one of the things that comes up is like his huddle film as a player and his recruiting profile. I mean, like you're talking about a guy at 29 who's young enough that some of the same stuff that you see popping up for current and recent players kind of pops up for him to give you an idea of just how young he is in a role like that. Grayson, coach, one of the premier coaching jobs in the state.
Grayson.
He's had the benefit. Brian DeBerry is a long-time athletic director there at Grayson, and I saw him on the sideline earlier. His son was a prospect we covered a couple years ago, and I'm sure that Brian has had a lot of influence on him. Obviously, he made the hire, so he's had a lot of influence on him and being someone he could go to because he's been around the different coaches and stuff. So you got to have a resource like that as a young coach.
Let's see our play of the game here. A little earlier, J.D. Davis, the quarterback. Big strike here to Kylan Fox,
Great
four-star tight end. Beautiful play design, gets right behind the defense. More than 60 yards the score, and that's brought to you by HendrickCars.com. Our play of the game presented by HendrickCars.com.
Man, that is the picture-perfect scenario definition of eye definition. Eye discipline, I mean.
You know, Fox committed to UCF, Walt Flynn committed to UCF. You can make a case right now, Rusty, that of the soon-to-be Big 12 teams exiting Oklahoma and Texas, UCF's the best recruiting program in the Big 12 right now.
They've done a tremendous job, and they got William Lee, who was a former Brookwood assistant, who is down there off the field. He's got a lot of connections up here in this area, and he's done a great job of recruiting Gwinnett County for Gus Malzahn and his staff. Gus Malzahn and his staff took Oklahoma to the to round 15 last week.
Sure did. Sure did.
They're waving that thing.
That ball's going to keep rolling. And that'll be Archer getting it back here. 2:56 to go in our game. Georgia, Florida tomorrow.
You know, kind of some breaking news tonight. We don't really know the situation. It kind of broke earlier on Twitter, but I did confirm here about 20 minutes ago. Darius Smith traveled with the team. Okay. So what does he, what does he play in? What impact? And that's me and you talked before, some extra pass rushers and some guys, and this young man has been away from the team, it sounds like, for a couple of weeks. And did he just go with the team? Is he going to dress? We'll see. There'll be a lot of questions answered tomorrow.
Absolutely. You'll see the team come marching into the stadium there right around 1:30 or so, slightly before that perhaps, and we'll see what the situation there is with Smith, of course, former terrific Georgia high school player at Appleton County.
I'm going to leave you with your work daughter tomorrow, Kaylee Mansell.
That's
Make sure
right.
she gets in and out, and don't leave her in RV City. Don't let that Rusty come out.
Fun kind of event tomorrow with the Bulldog Club of Jacksonville. Great bunch of Georgia fans down there and a terrific group of folks to hang out. So you'll get a chance to see Kaylee on video tomorrow doing that, and I'll stop by and say hello myself.
I guess she got a little one-on-one with Kirby Smart, looked like.
That's right. That's right. We had the great event with Mark Richt a couple weeks ago.
Oh, it was awesome.
Last week, I should say.
Yep.
And, Kirby Smart comes, and obviously it was so great to see him be, first of all, in that kind of relaxed atmosphere, because you don't see that from Kirby a lot because he's such an intense coach, but also the support that he wanted to show to Coach Richt and his family. The interaction between the two.
Great.
One of the things I'll remember for a long time is just how much fun it was to watch the interaction between those two there that night.
Yep.
As Archer's drive continues here.
I guess we can. I have permission. We got a player down.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and announce where we're going next week. We are going to North Gwinnett for Norcross and North Gwinnett.
Boy, a fun game there.
Yep.
Be our first time seeing Eric. Well, actually, not our first time seeing Eric Godfrey at North Gwinnett, but nice to see him again there. Let's say it that way.
There we go.
Norcross and
I didn't get in
Gwinnett.
trouble. I was like, wait a minute. I hope I got permission. Yeah, that's going to wrap, Brandon. As crazy as it sounds, that's going to wrap up the regular season.
That is certainly crazy. It goes by fast every year, and this year as fast as any ever has.
But you want to talk about ramping up things. You talk about Lawson Lucky, who's going to have a lot of eyes on him tomorrow. His younger brother at Norcross, Carter Lucky, defensive lineman in the 2026 class. He is another Power 5 player, defensive line.
By the way, the injured player for Archer was Emmanuel McCray, the running back. He wanted to go back in. You know, to give you an idea of what kind of competitive fire that young man's playing the game with.
Had to physically keep him off the field.
Yeah, because if you're Archer, you've got a lot to play for beyond this particular Friday.
Correct.
And you've seen arguably the three top players in offense, or three of the top players in offense, in some form or fashion, have kind of dealt with some injury here tonight. So you really want to be careful. And that's one of the reasons why they're going to keep McCray out right now, because there are more important snaps in this football season than these final couple of minutes worth here for Archer. But yeah, North Gwinnett, Norcross can be in a phenomenal game next week. And how about the job that Coach Maloof has done here?
Always. They just, you know, they go through those back-to-back state championships, and I still one of the craziest stats ever. They had 60 seniors, which is, and you have, oh, by the way, Alvin Kamara and Lorenzo Carter on the same high school football team. But when you have 60 seniors and you go back-to-back state championships, but Coach Maloof, you just don't give enough credit over there for whatever reason right now, and they just keep winning. Got a bad snap right here, Brandon.
Yeah, they sure do. Going to try to get on top of that and at least preserving what could have been an easy scoop and score. So at the very least, you do that.
And again, you're going to add another play to kind of what was been a game of just sloppy set spots tonight for Archer.
Yeah, you're going to talk about, you know, when you look at the total number of touchdowns that Archer's going to be trailing by here, it's going to pretty well align with the total number of turnovers they've had in this game, too, and there's clearly something you take from that.
Yep.
So Grayson's going to keep a good number of starters in the game here right now, but also in a position to just be able to go to the kneel down here.
Yeah, we got a flip score. That's correct. Commerce did beat Raven County, so Commerce will be the region champ. I don't know how the Raven County, Elbert County works out for number 2 in there. But I do want to tell everyone to stick around, because we're going to interview the head coach here for Grayson, and then we're going to have our Craig Sager is going to break down the games tonight and kind of what to look forward to next week. So if you want to have
Craig does a great job with that too.
All week he goes over that stuff. That's his thing all week.
And, you know, for people who don't follow high school football as closely as many in our audience do, we should point out that the thing that Rusty's been kind of addressing all night long is the fact there is no, if you want to call it like power ratings or hierarchy to the seeding, 1, 2, 3, 4 within the various regions. They're matched up with a region from north and south, north against south before the season even begins. And so there's some idea of who might be playing whom, well before we even start talking about who's actually going to make the playoffs.
And there's always an upset or two. I mean, every year you can go back and just about, Brandon, historically, about 4 to 6 number 4 seeds in the state of Georgia win round 1. So that obviously throws off. Look at Marietta again. I mean, Marietta's going to end up in that 2 seed in that region.
Well, if you want to, further the point you were just making, to me, nothing demonstrates the depth of Georgia as a high school football state than what you see 3 seeds, 4 seeds, below kind of the top 10 teams. The teams are just tough outs in the postseason.
Mill Creek won 7A last year as a 2 seed.
Yeah, that's right. That's a great point. So it is a final. Grayson gets the win, 41-14 here over Archer. The 29-year-old Santavius Bryant takes another step towards what could possibly be a region championship in Region 4-7A, arguably among the deepest regions and perhaps from top to bottom as talented as a region that exists in our state. Grayson takes another step over potentially winning that. They also win a rivalry game here tonight over Archer. on our drive for the GHSA state title presented by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. And concurrent to us being here to broadcast this on television, there's also been a celebration here of the United States Marine Corps with
great night
with their rivalry games around the country. This was kind of recognized as one of the top 100 rivalries, if you want to call it that way, across the United States of America. So the Marines have been here tonight, and there'll be a nice trophy coming the way of Grayson for getting this win there too. We're also going to get a chance to talk to Coach Bryant here in a moment, and that'll be a great experience there as well. Handshake taking place between both these teams. Bitter rivals, but still classy sportsmen. When it comes to an end, the crowd starts to file out, but at its apex tonight, you had a lot of folks here on both sides. And by the way, you can see it well across the field in the, sort of the far horizon there, but the A crossed out that flag that the Grayson students have been waving tonight. Now the Grayson players have gotten a chance to wave that too. So
big rivalry here, right up the road from each other.
Absolutely, here in the kind of Lawrenceville area of Gwinnett County, kind of bleeding over to where Grayson is. We'll hear from Santavius Bryant in a moment, and then as part of our post-game show, we'll also have plenty of coverage from throughout the state here too.
Yeah, we're going to have a couple of MVPs.
All right, so Craig Sager Jr., I believe, is ready with the winning coach, Santavius Bryant. Not yet. We'll get that here coming up in just a moment. We'll see that as Grayson runs its record to 7-2. We saw them in the Dave Hunter Corky Kell Classic. They lost that day to Walton. It was really a pretty decisive result. But since then, they've won now 6 of their last 7 games to be where they are here right now. And as we alluded to, a very, very tough out in the
Coach Bryant is
playoffs.
We got to get an interview, and he's trying to get his team off the field. And
yeah, so I believe what he's going to do is gather his folks over there to receive that trophy here from the United States Marine Corps. We'll show you some of that here coming up here too. Kind of an interesting. All right, so let's take a commercial break here. We've got some time to do that, and we'll show you an interview with Santavius Bryant coming up after that. Let's take a break here right now. We'll be right back after this on the Peachtree Sports Network.
Yankee Wawa! Running out of hot water is one way your water heater cries out for help. Call R.S. Andrews. Get a water heater rejuvenation. Your water heater gets added life, you get more hot water. Another way R.S. Andrews makes you smile today.
I've used R.S. Andrews 15 years, purchased 2 heating and air systems, so I rely on their technicians for service. I call, they come, it's fixed. And I appreciate Andrews' commitment. He gives it his all. That's how R.S. Andrews makes me smile.
What does it mean when people say America is a land of opportunity?
It means the power to discover.
To redefine yourself.
To improve yourself.
To challenge yourself.
To realize there's more in you
than you ever knew
that you could do.
It means giving people an open field to explore what they do best.
With the best tools.
The best training.
The best technology in the world. We bring out the best in the people who serve.
So you can be all you can be.
A journeyman with Local 85, when you turn out, you can be hitting 6 figures.
Hey, I have your back, you have my back. We're going to do this together. We're one for all for one.
College just wasn't for me. Let's look into actual career jobs that wouldn't take college, where I wouldn't, lose money and all that. Instead of losing a lot more money at the end, why not make money and make more money at the end?
Hendrick.
Drive now, pay later. Shop HendrickCars.com this month and make no payments for 90 days. Over 20,000 new and pre-owned vehicles. No payments for 90 days. Visit HendrickCars.com.
Hey, really quick, can I get a cap? Oh yeah, we finna get that. We got the championship hats for the champion. I'm gonna get.
The Great American Rivalry Series of the United States Marines are proud to recognize nationwide 2023 Great American Rivalry Series champions. Congratulations to everyone who participated. Thanks to the United United States Marines for their partnership of the 2023 Great American Rivalry Series. Have a great night and drive safely.
Hey, put a G on 3. 1, 2, 3. Put a K on it. Hey, he said put a K on it. Put a K on it. They got 30 more ways. Brother, thank you guys. Hey, we got one more thing for y'all.
All right, I'm here with Coach Brian. This is what it's all about right there. Big rivalry win for you guys. What did you see tonight on the field with the effort?
Man, first off, just a lot of respect for that program and this rivalry. It's a great rivalry. Every year this game is going to be a battle. Again, the score don't necessarily tear the story of the game, but that was a great one right there.
Yeah, you're on the road. You're playing Archer. They're leading the region. This now sets you up with an opportunity to clinch the top seed. What's this win tonight just mean going forward?
Man, that's something that we've been working for all offseason, and one of our main goals is winning the region. So, again, just a chance for us to come out here and control our own destiny. That was huge for us.
And how important was it tonight? Anytime you guys were able to force a turnover, your team capitalized on it, cashed in on touchdowns. Just how huge was that to execute?
Man, it's big because, we preached that all parts of the game got to work together, offense, defense, our special teams again. So we got to complement each other. So we showed that tonight.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, Coach. Great win by the Rams. We'll be back with our players of the game.
ADHD diagnoses in the United States for school kids has increased by 43% in less than 10 years.
This was the first time a teacher ever mentioned ADHD. I was super offended.
A big part of me thought it was a bogus diagnosis.
The flip side of distractibility is curiosity. What's that? What's that? What's that? If you didn't care, you wouldn't get distracted.
I'm a risk taker. I'm creative.
Zara's a brilliant writer.
He has a lot of skills, like to ask questions, to be argumentative, to push boundaries.
Around ADHD, there's tremendous ignorance. Most people are not aware of the positives that go with it.
Can't sit still, disorganized, can't focus, lazy, stupid.
You can't make it. You never listen, you don't clean your room.
It's a super skill set.
Our excellence is shining, yet so many of us are dying. Colon cancer is silently killing our people, our friends, and family. So screen we must. We do this for all of us, from every corner, doorstep, and pulpit, period. The health revolution must begin. From diagnosis to death rates, colon cancer can no longer win. Ravaging Black communities, colon screenings are a must. They're recommended for those 45 and up to pinpoint and treat the signs. If detected early, colon cancer is treatable, 91% beatable. It's on us to understand symptoms and lower the risk. Join our team and get screened. It's time to take our bodies back. It's time to get healthy. It's time to stand up to cancer once and for all.
Welcome back to the Tailgate Show presented by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. I'm with the Gatorade Offensive Player of the Game, John Cenas, and the Gatorade Defensive Player of the Game, Tyler Atkinson. Tyler, I want to start with you, man. We talked a little bit off air, and I want to talk about just your progression from year one and year two. You started as a true freshman for a storied program. Just talk about what you're seeing out there from year one and year two.
Oh, so year one, it was a good start. First year, I jumped onto the scene. It was good. I learning process. And then this year, it's like the game is moving very slow. I'm moving faster than the game, so it's like sometimes I got to slow down for the game because it's moving very slow. But it's been a good year. I'm having a way better season than my freshman year. I'm just going to keep going and keep progressing.
100%. Now, John, I want to go back to that big-time play you made, 14-0. You catch it, you were double team. Just walk me through that play, big-time touchdown to kind of help your team get the lead and kind of establish a little bit of a rhythm.
Well, we just – wait, can you ask that again?
Yeah, sure. So just big-time play, put you guys up 14-0. You make the play on the defender. What's going through your head on that play? Just kind of create that separation like you always tell me and be able to make big plays in big moments.
I was just sitting there thinking, like, the ball was the play call, and then I had to read the defense. And so once I knew that he was going to throw it to me. And so, like, after that, you just had to make the play.
100%. Now, Tyler, I want to ask you, just what's going through your head on that strip play, man? I mean, that was an incredible play. You probably had to have 10-plus tackles in this game. That was a big-time play just because it gave you guys even more momentum defensively. You guys found the ball. What's going through your head on that big strip play?
Oh, they put me on the edge. It was Don package. I'm already know how the quarterback scheme. Been watching film all week, so I already know if you put pressure on, he's gonna step up in the pocket. So I already knew he's gonna step in the pocket. So I scrambled with him, and I saw the ball hanging out a little bit. So right when I've been working on with my pops is straight strips. So I stripped it, and then that's the big play for a minute, and we came back and scored a touchdown.
100%. Now, last question for you, John. Just talk about what this win means, put you guys in position to compete for a region title next week against Parkview. What does it mean to you?
Oh, it means a lot. Like, we just beat our rivals, and then we just beat the front runner for the region champs. And so I know that game, if they had won, it would have meant a lot for them. But now it means a lot for us, and it put us in position for region champs.
100%. Well, guys, without further ado, going to go ahead and present the Robbie Hunter MVP Award to Tyler Atkinson. Incredible game on the defensive side of the ball. You win the MVP tonight.
Oh, yeah, I just want to say one more thing to say. Hey, I just want to say all this I would not be done without God. God is the blessing. He gave me all the strength and power tonight to come out and perform, kept my body healthy. So I do all this for God. I really appreciate him. Thank you.
Congratulations, Tyler. Let's clap it up for him. All right, guys, that's all we got for now. We're going to toss it to break and be back on the other side.
So when I got in the program, I was 18. At the time, I think the most appealing thing was, I could start out going to school and making money while I'm going to school. Not coming out in 4 or 5 years, $30,000, $40,000 in debt. That was the biggest attraction to this. I got in 3 days after graduation and hadn't looked back.
The Georgia Sheet Metal JETC provides apprentices with free training and careers that are stable and essential to the operation of the modern world. Both craft jobs and management positions offer lucrative pay with benefits as well as the stability of a growing industry. Skilled journeymen in the sheet metal industry are essential to our community now and in the future. Learn more about free technical training with no student debt at our website, careersinsheetmetal.com.
Sweetheart, please don't forget to wear your seatbelt. I got it, Mom. It's a really nice day, living in the right space. Breathing your gas, got me feeling so kind away.
In the blink of an eye, so many tomorrows can disappear. Buckle up for your future. Every trip, every time. A message from the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
All right, welcome back to the post-game show presented by Sports Turf. I'm here with Score Atlanta's Najee Wilkins. Najee, before we talk about some of these other results, I know a lot of people in the state wanted to see this one. Puts Grayson on top of the region. How huge do you think this was for the Rams just after losing their region opener to now be in front?
It's big, right? You're flying around to the ball all day defensively. You forced three turnovers in this game. I was just really impressed with just how they perform, right? This puts them right in position to clinch a region title next week. They're doing a really, really great job. So, I think it's huge for them, and then they get to go stick it to a rival next week.
That's right, and they give up just 2 touchdowns. Defense played outstanding, but what do you like about their offense? Just the mismatches with some of these playmakers. They're going to be hard to guard for any team.
Yeah, I like the playmakers they have, right? I like Colin Fox. He had 2 big touchdowns in this game. If you double him, you got John Senius, who can just win on the outside. And then you got Alexander Sanchez as well. So they just got so many weapons you can throw the ball to.
And what did you think of J.D. Davis? Because you've pointed out his progression this season as quarterback, as senior. He just looks so confident out there.
Yes, he does. He looks like a big step forward from just year one as a starter to now. He just looks comfortable with the offense. He knows where he wants to go with his reads. Looks pretty good.
That's right. All right, they have a big matchup against Parkview next week, but let's look at some of the other scores tonight. Starting in some 6A matchups right here. Rome, they clinched the region second straight year, and then BT, a big win over Alpharetta. That's going to give them potentially home field in the playoffs, but what else stands out on this page?
I got to go Gainesville, second consecutive region title for them, beating North Forsyth second year in a row. That's a big-time win. Then I got to go Warner Robins, 43-28 victory against Jones County, sticking to a rival, and also the quarterback, Joe Anderson from Shore had a pretty good game. Big-time region championship for them.
That's right, and then one more score that you see at the bottom, Cass with a big win over Calhoun. Calhoun misses the playoffs for the first time since 1999. That was Hal Lamb's first year. So just a devastating loss for the program. But then Cass, they're in the playoffs for the third straight year. I heard Sokovie White went off tonight, had a great game, and so did Brody McWhorter.
Yes, sir.
All right, so now we have Cartersville clinching the region over Dalton. Looks like Hiram won as well. So I think that'll put Cartersville number 1, Hiram 2, Dalton 3, Cass 4, and then let's see, the Perry Spalding game. I think that was huge. Spalding, what does that mean for them to complete this season with a perfect record going into the bye? Do you think they can make a run in 4A?
I do think so. There's big time momentum for them. They get to go, get rest up, get healthy, and then just kind of build on that game from Perry. Big time offensive performance. I also got to give a shout out to Loganville. Big time win against Flowery Branch on the road. That was a big victory, 30-28, and a really good game.
Yeah, Loganville's played a ton of tough teams this year.
Yes.
All right, so starting here, Stockbridge, we mentioned them at halftime. I'm so impressed with them in 4A. They've swept the region 2 years in a row. They have an opportunity to do it again. And then Central Carroll, that's a team you are really high on. What stands out about the Lions this season? Just 9-0 start.
Just their playmakers, man. I mean, you got J.R. Harris, the freshman phenom quarterback, and then you got Jonas Washington, the heavily recruited 2026 class, running back. So they've got a multitude of ways they can beat you, and they're going to be scary come playoff time. And last one, Troop County. Can we give them some love, right?
Yes.
They lost Teo Todd, and they're still balling, playing really well this year. Got to give Troop County some love. Big time win against Trinity Christian.
And what a matchup next week's LaGrange against Troop, 2 rivals. Big time region implications for sure.
Here, Mary Parsons just continues the ball out. Really good running back in Duke Watson, 3-star. And then Colquitt County keeps rolling against Valdosta, big time rival, but it looks like that offense is just something special with Nye Carr and Landon Thomas.
Yeah, Gosh, Colquitt County, all the great teams they've had, they're so good on both sides of the ball. I think this might be one of the most explosive teams. They've had a great offense, so much firepower. They're going to win that region. And then Richmond Hill, the win over Lowndes. Lowndes misses the playoffs for the first time since 2014 with that loss. Big win for Richmond Hill. And also Westlake rebounded from the Carrollton loss. And then how about Marietta? Second year in a row, they've really made a strong push in that Region 3.
Yes, they did, and Marietta turns it around yet again. And then this is a big result right here. Swainsboro losing to Blakely County. Swainsboro, a really deep roster, really good team. Surprising result right there, and Commerce keeps rolling with a 23-17 victory against Rabun County.
Yes, it is. Big win for the Royals. And Swainsboro, obviously a state finalist last year. They got DeMello Jones. They're going to be dangerous no matter what seed, but that was a big win. And then Commerce, we talked to Coach Hollard today before kickoff about how huge this game was. They beat Elbert County big time, and he told me the thing that really stood out, they've only thrown the ball 12 times this season. They're going to run at you, one of the best running football teams, a proud traditional program, a huge win tonight at home.
And in here, I think you mentioned a great point, just with Norcross winning that region championship against Peachtree Ridge, 35-7 run. I mean, that's incredible. Fell down 10-0 early, but still was able to put it on. Walton clinches their region title, will host the first 2 playoff games, big time win against Osborne.
Yeah, it was. I mean, Peachtree Ridge, they're undefeated. They have a 10-0 lead, and then Norcross just storms back. They got a big matchup against North Gwinnett next week. Should be a good one. And then Walton, here's what stands out to me in that one. That defense, as much as we talk about how balanced that Walton offense is, their defense this year has shown up every single week. Just looks outstanding. So there you guys have it. Some of the results. We got one more week of the regular season. Should be a good one. And it was the game I just mentioned, Norcross against North Gwinnett. Wow. This Norcross team in 7A, the athletes they've had, and just the streak they've been on it. I mean, they're battle tested. I just really like what Coach Malouf's doing over there. I just like the versatility they have, and Najee, as you know, is a Norcross alum. So what stands out in that matchup?
Yeah, I just like the way Norcross is playing. Their defense can stiffen and really play well, late in games, and then, offensively they're tough to match, right? You got A.J. Watkins that can run the ball. Also got Dylan Muhammad as their quarterback. They can do a lot of things well. And North Gwinnett's kind of a team not a lot of people talk about, but Ryan Hall's doing a good job at the quarterback in his junior season, and they can run the ball as well with their lead running back.
Yep, Eric Godfrey's first year there, and Peachtree Ridge did beat North Gwinnett, so they're going to be cheering for North Gwinnett in that one. But thank you guys so much. Thank you to our executive producer, Roddy White, our I.J. Rosenberg, Ashley Carey, all the great staff and crew that makes this possible. Brandon Adams, Rusty Manziel, Kaylee, who was not here, and we will see you next week for another big Gwinnett Showdown.
ADHD diagnoses in the United States for school kids has increased by 43% in less than 10 years.
This was the first time a teacher ever mentioned ADHD. I was super offended.
A big part of me thought it was a bogus diagnosis.
The flip side of distractibility is curiosity. What's that? What's that? What's that? If you didn't care, you wouldn't get distracted.
I'm a risk taker. I'm creative.
Zara's a brilliant writer.